Uh-huh. 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 Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, actually. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Live on a Wednesday? Yeah, dude, there's no rules anymore. There's no fucking rules to this shit. There's no schedule. There's no rules. There's nothing other than that we wing it. Chris, when do we get another play of that game? Maybe today. Who knows? Maybe today. Still got it. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. How are yous? How are yous? How we all doing? How we all doing? Hi, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Chris, should I get a McChicken? You should. Chris, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Did you just say I see a skinny New Yorker? Oh, you want to marry me, don't you? You calling me skinny? I'm gonna marry you now. You can't be calling me skinny. You out of your mind? I'll cry. What did you do, Chris? Why are we laughing maniacally? I didn't get much sleep. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. How we all doing? How we all doing? How we all doing? How's everybody doing? You having a good morning? Because I'm having a good morning. Oh, Jesus. That was loud. I'm a loud man. I'm a loud man. You got a full bill of health after a cancer scar. I'm fucking hyped. Congratulations. Welcome to the land of the living. Welcome to the land of the living. Chris, how do you cheat twink death? You think I'm a twink? Brother, I am not a fucking twink. If I were gay, I would definitely not be a twink. I'd be a bear, right? You see my fucking chest? I'd be a bear. I'd be a bear. Exactly, Samuel. Exactly. Exactly. Bro got laid for the first time. Yep, the very first time. The very first time. Almost a bear. You need to put on more muscle. I don't even think it's really muscle. I think it's just pure size. You know, I've seen bears that are not very muscular. They're just like giant. You know what I mean? They're just big motherfuckers. Dude, why is it that when I... Do you guys see that? I raise my arm and it gets brighter. What the fuck is that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Right? Right? Nisan al-Gaib. Huh. I wonder what the fuck causes that. Holy pits? What's wrong with my pits? What's wrong with my pits? Oh, they're literally holy pits. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. You getting risky with that hand lift? Oh yeah, because they had like the Sig Heil, but then they had like the gay version of the Sig Heil where they'd be like, you know, you ever seen that? Where like everyone's like hitting the hard Sig Heil and then they're like, yeah, whatever, yeah. Yeah, whatever. All right. That's literally what, like, everyone's like fucking hitting the Sig Heil and the guy goes, all right. Just like, what do you even call that? Is that called like a half Heil or some shit? Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I have training at 1, so I'll only be here for a moment. What the fuck you mean training? You get a personal trainer, Nelson? Since when? Is that like a soft A Nazi? Yeah, no, like it's a soft Nazi salute. Fucking crazy. Hi, Luigi mama. Hi, little girl. Oh, training at your job. I see. Chris, you look ripped. As in high, or is it like shredded with muscle? Because like I am definitely in the best shape of the past like 2 years that I've been in. So, oh lordy, lordy, lordy. Should we tell the world? Should we blast off and tell the world that I am live? All right, let's let everybody know. What's up, folks? I'm live right now on YouTube. We're going to be covering how Trump is threatening to pull us out of NATO and also threatening to nuke Iran and also begging the Chinese to help open up the Strait of Hormuz. I'm laughing because I can't cry, man. It's like, what a fucking dipshit. All right. What's my favorite Pokemon? Believe it or not, I never played Pokemon, but if I had to name one, it'd probably be Mewtwo. Just because, like, Mewtwo I know is pretty goated. I remember fighting Mewtwo in, like, Super Smash Bros., and he was very hard to beat. You know? But no, I was a Mario and Luigi guy, hence the dog. I grew up playing Mario and Luigi and Legend of Zelda. I didn't play no Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't play no Pokemon. Watch your fire command. The jizz is getting in my head. Throw him in the corner for like 2 or 3 minutes so that he can really think about what the fuck he just typed. Throw him in the corner. Throw him in the corner. Just for a little bit. Yeah, just for a little bit. You know, don't ban him, just throw him in the corner. Make him really sit there and think about what the fuck he just used his fingers to type out. You know? Best Mario and Luigi game? Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. I have played that game probably 15 times, and every time, it's incredible. Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. I thought you named her after the other Luigi. No, I got little Luigi way before Luigi Mangione. That's why when you know, our Lord and Savior Luigi whacked that fucker clean off the face of the earth, I was like, I'm probably one of the only content creators who says, I love you, Luigi, like all the time. Yeah, I played Zelda too. Best Legend of Zelda game is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. You know, that's got to be the best one. I'm telling you, I know peak Mario and peak Zelda. The second best Wind Waker isn't even in the top 3. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick, bitch. The second best Legend of Zelda game is Twilight Princess, and then the third best Legend of Zelda game is Ocarina of Time. That's it. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think of the top 3 Mario games. It would go Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door would be number 1. What would be number 2? Super Mario 64 would be number 2. What would be number 3? I mean, Mario Party overall, like all the Mario... Oh, Mario Party Sunshine, you're right. Mario Party Sunshine would be number 3. The original Paper Mario is very good. It is very good, but Thousand-Year Door is better. Mario Galaxy, I didn't like. I was not a fan of Mario Galaxy. Did you see the new Spider-Man trailer? No, I didn't. I gotta watch that, though. Gotta watch that, though. I'm just gonna let a couple more people roll in before we start the show. Maybe we're at 426 viewers. I'll let it hit like 500, and then we'll get started, you know. I got you on at work today. Fighting fascism doesn't stop for customers. You're damn right. You're damn right. New Spider-Man looks sick as fuck, not gonna lie. I saw like a clip of it online. Just like a small little clip of Peter Parker watching fine shit get rizzed up by a Muslim. I mean, is this Spider-Man's right-wing arc? Is this when Peter Parker becomes a bigot? Because, you know, like Zendaya, whatever the fuck, what is her, Mary Jane? Is that Mary Jane? She forgot all about him. She don't even know he exists type shit. And then he goes to a party and she's getting rizzed up. Rizzed up. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You should debate Nick Fuentes. Why would I debate somebody who doesn't believe in debate? Nick Fuentes is a proud fascist. Debate is a democratic process. It's a democratic process. He does not believe in debate. So no, I would never debate Nick Fuentes. I would bully him though. I left my boyfriend of 5 years because he became super MAGA. He hates Trump now but loves Nick Fuentes. I can't tell if he got worse or better. He got worse. See, here's the thing. Trump may be a bumbling fascist eugenicist, right? But he is not a proud Nazi, right? You could argue that Trump is a Nazi, but he doesn't wear it on his sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Nick is a proud Nazi. Very proud to be a Nazi. He says that he loves Hitler, says that Hitler is based. He's a Holocaust denier, you know what I mean? So I do think that's a downgrade. That's getting worse, if you ask me. At least Trump pretends like he's not a Nazi, you know? Hi, little girl, you okay? What's the matter? What's the matter? Oh, let me go get her bed for her real quick. You guys want an ad break real quick? Hit you with an ad break.
Hey there, you! Yeah, you! You tired of your boring, plain old wardrobe? Do you want to stand out in the crowd? You want to make heads turn, jaws drop, and hearts skip a beat? Well, have I got the deal of the century for you? ValentiVideos.myshopify.com is here with the merch explosion that'll blow your socks off and change your life. Check it out! We've got exclusive gear from the cutting edge of fashion. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and much more that'll make you be thinking, well, hell, where'd you get that? And guess what? You can get yours right now with just one click. That's right, don't wait. Act now, and you can be a proud owner of the hottest merch on the planet. Whether you're looking to chill out, stand out, or just feel like $1,000,000, we've got something for you. And hey, I know what you're thinking, but what about the price? Well, let me tell you, these prices are so low that you'd think we were giving it away for free. Now, get ready to rock the best merch in town. And check out ValentiVideos.myshopify.com for your destination to greatness. I'll see you there, friend. Hurry up.
Chris Valenti, Valenti Videos, is not responsible for any sudden increase in class consciousness that may occur as a result of wearing this merch. If you find yourself beginning to deeply care for your fellow person, quickly continue to wear all products from Valenti Videos as your empathy grows. Drinking from Valenti Videos mugs may invoke a quiet sense of awe for the entirety of humanity as you decide to dedicate the rest of your living existence to the betterment of those who have less than you. Also, you may get a brief but meaningful stiffy. Please enjoy Valenti Videos responsibly.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that Valenti Videos ad break. This channel is sponsored by Valenti Videos. So if if you're thinking about buying Valenti Videos or subscribing to Valenti Videos, your best bet would be to subscribe to me, Valenti Videos, and then from there you can get merch from Valenti Videos. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Chris. Valentussi Docutussi. March 18th, 2020. God, I look good. God, I look good. Nice. I'd hit, bro. Bro, I'm such a fuck, dude. Anyone else love eating ass? All right, let's keep moving. Vibe check. Despite Israel becoming less popular than it ever was, yada, yada, yada. Announcements, Kat Abu came close but lost her race. Yeah, that's because we had a couple other progressive candidates on the fucking menu. And listen, I got some shit to say about this because I'm in, thank you for the $10. Appreciate that, gay boy. Appreciate that. I got some shit to talk about, okay, which is that I am in a couple of group chats with a lot of different progressives. Some of them are libbed up to the high heavens, others are based as fuck like ourselves. And a lot of these motherfuckers, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I'm not going to name any names, but these are big content creators. And if you watch this, you know who the fuck you are. A lot of you motherfuckers were calling Kat Abaguzale Kat Abaguzionist because her previous campaign manager was a Zionist. Not her current one, her previous one, right? And forgetting that this woman is like 26 years old, okay? And that things change. And because of that, you guys combated her every which way that you could with this purity politics bullshit. And it is unironically more on you than it is on AIPAC that Kat Abaguzale did not fucking win, okay? It's because of motherfuckers like you who are unwilling to bend. You refuse to bend. You just break immediately. It is because of motherfuckers like you that we will probably never be able to completely overtake the system with progressive politicians. Because for you motherfuckers, nothing's ever good enough. And you motherfuckers are the same people who say that Zoran Mamdani is a fucking Zionist, okay? Yeah, meanwhile, you'll blindly support Graham Plattner, you know, with a fucking Totenkopf tattooed on him. It is the most pathetic shit I ever seen. I hope you motherfuckers see this and know that I'm talking about you. And the only fucking reason I'm not name dropping you is because there's too fucking many of you. Because if I did name drop you, I'd unironically be doing what you're doing and start dismantling leftist figureheads because you're too fucking retarded to know when your purity politics is destroying the fucking movement. So all of you suck my fucking dick. Somebody said, what's wrong with Graham Plattner? Graham Plattner had a Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years, bro. 20 fucking years. That is one of like the most well-known Nazi insignias out there. Wise Guy 1101 said, bro is so hypocritical. He's literally a capitalist fascist. He spelled fascist wrong. Yet he pretends to be a socialist. No, I am a socialist. I'm telling you straight up, I believe in socialist policies. I want the democratization of the workforce. I want to live in a classless, stateless, and moneyless society. And I'm not stupid enough to believe that I will live to see the communist revolution, but I am smart enough to believe that through the power of my voice and boosting the voices of other leftist content creators, we could start to create more socialist policies. We could create more social safety nets. We could increase the taxes on the Epstein class. So listen, you could cope, mold, and seethe all you want. You had to be subscribed for 10 fucking minutes just to leave that hate comment. So there is no such thing as socialism, only Marxism and communism. You know that. Okay, I didn't know you were fucking retarded. So my bad. I didn't mean to bully somebody who's mentally disabled. My apologies. I'll leave you to chirp all you fucking want because, you know, we got some shit to talk about. Anyway, back to it. The SAVE Act is working its way through Congress and Senate. That's expected. Mark Wayne Mullins' confirmation hearing began this morning. That's also true. I agree with you, Chris, but what about Gavin Newsom? What about him? He's a fucking... He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He might as well be a fucking Republican. Most of it wasn't used yesterday. Some new reports today. What is this? Oh, I have this queued up. I'll wait till we watch this. Thank you for the $30. Sup, Pookie? I got paid last night, so you get the benefit. Think you fighting the good fight. Thank you, DL Peaches. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2, Kitty Cat. I appreciate you. He knows I'm right. He's literally a Marxist. I'm so confused right now. You just said that I'm not a socialist. I'm actually a fascist. And now you said he's literally a Marxist. Brother, I think you're confused. I genuinely don't think that you even know what you're talking about. Electra says, Chris, don't talk about the main issue if you aren't fully educated about them. Nah, I fucking will. I don't give a shit. Cope, mold, and seethe. That cocksucker had a fucking Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years. That only means that there are two possible options. One, he's a Nazi. Two, he's so fucking stupid that he didn't know he had a Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years. Both of those make him irredeemable. No, I will never fucking support him. Never. I will never fucking support him. Bro, can you please use another saying? No, you can cope, mold, and seethe. No. See the Ali Jirani news? Yeah, the I forgot his official position, but a high-ranking Iranian official was assassinated today. You know? Kyle does support Graham Plattner. I think that Kyle and I have, listen, I love Kyle Kalinske, but I hope you don't expect me to agree with, like, the people I like 100% of the time. That's unhealthy. That's not going to, I love Hassan Piker. I don't agree with him 100% of the time, you know? But, yeah, no, he likes Graham Plattner. Listen, for a lot of people, him covering up that Totenkopf was enough. For me, it's not. I wrote my entire college thesis on the rise of fascism in Nazi Germany. Okay, I'm very well versed when it comes to World War I and World War II history. I simply cannot and will not ever support somebody who has Nazi insignias tattooed on them. Sorry. You are wrong about Plattner? What am I wrong about? Did he or did he not have a fucking Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years? Did he or did he not? Answer that one, Electro. Did he or did he not have a Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years? Thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. Did he or did he not? Come on, Electro. Answer that one. That one's simple. That one's a simple one. What do you think about Kat wanting to defend Taiwan with military force? Listen, it's a weird thing where it's like, if you want to protect American interests, yeah, you got to protect Taiwan with military force. But if you don't support American imperialism overseas, then no, you can't support America's defense of Taiwan. It's a weird middle ground. I'll tell you this much. I don't give a fuck about Taiwan. I wish we could just move all of our chip manufacturing into the United States of America. You know, I don't give a fuck. He did, and he said he regretted it and got it covered up. So, Electro, hear me out. I'll say what I said again. You have to hear me out. By Graham Plattner having a Totenkopf tattooed on his chest for 20 years, there are only two options. One, he's a Nazi. Two, he's so fucking stupid that for 20 years, he had a Nazi tattoo on him and didn't know it. Either way, that's a non-starter for me. I can't trust you in government. I can't trust you in government. He isn't a Nazi, you are wrong? Well, then that means he's so fucking stupid that he had a Nazi tattoo on his chest for 20 fucking years. Both of them are a non-starter. No, don't call Electro a Nazi simp. Don't do that. A lot of people support Graham Plattner. They are allowed to do that all they fucking want. I don't trust him. To me, he seems like a Nazi trying to embed themselves in socialism in order to, you know, get their little fucking fangs stuck in there. You know, sort of like a, I don't know, like subterfuge, like a spy. Thank you for the $2. Word, he removed it after being caught. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He had that shit on him for 20 years, bro. There is no world in which somebody, like, you went to a pool, there's no world in which somebody didn't let him know, yo, bro, that is one of the most famous Nazi insignias of all time. Okay? There's no fucking shot. Thank you for becoming a member for 2 months. Hey, brother, wear the girly merch. Brother, we made the designs. I'm waiting on my my producer to crank her up, get her running. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $10 support from Braden and Brian, the People's Ambulance crew. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Silly Medic. Thank you for the $5. Hey, Chris, I hope you're doing all right, both mentally and physically. I just want to have a bit of a celebration. I managed to buy a decent house. Congratulations, dude. That's a huge fucking flex, being able to buy a house. I'm very proud of you, man. I don't know how long you've been saving up your money, but to be able to buy a house is very, very, very impressive. I know it wasn't a swastika, but still. Yeah, no, I would argue that it was worse than the swastika. Do you guys not know the history of the Totenkopf? Totenkopf. So, I would argue that the Totenkopf is genuinely worse. So the swastika was the official flag of Germany, right? And everybody wore that in the military, whether you were in the Wehrmacht or the SS, right? Now, the difference between the Wehrmacht and the SS is the Wehrmacht is the standard issue German military. The SS was quite literally like Jew hunters. They were Hitler's most loyal soldiers, right? The SS, they would get Totenkopf rings. with Himmler's name inscribed in it and their name inscribed in it. And when they died in combat, somebody had to retrieve that ring and send the Totenkopf ring back to Himmler's castle, where he would collect the rings and store them in the mountain, believing that they would charge up with totemic energy, and he would one day be able to wear these rings and absorb the power of all of his fallen SS soldiers, sort of like Red Skull from Captain America. This is real history, okay? You can call it fucking crazy. This is documented history. On top of that, the fucking SS, bro, the Totenkopf, let me see if I could zoom in. You see this? The Totenkopf was literally sewn into their hats. It was sewn into their collars, bro. The SS. This is some next level Nazi shit, okay? Thank you for the $10. My wife and I are having another baby boy. Hell yeah, congratulations, proud of you. You be fucking, that's what you be doing. You be fucking. I'm kidding. Thank you for the $10, Jacob. I appreciate you. But, you see what I'm saying about the Totenkopf? Like, I can't, it's too far for me. It's a red line that I won't cross. It's a red line that I won't cross. It wasn't a Nazi symbol, it resembled one. Okay, let's compare Graham Plattner tattoo. Let's see if we could find it. Nazi tattoo. Where's the original? Because now it's just showing the cover up. Okay, here's the original. So here's the original. You see how there's a skull and there's the two things next to it, right? That is exactly what a Totenkopf is. Verbatim. See, there's the Totenkopf. There's his tattoo. No, it is not. It did not resemble a Totenkopf. It is a Totenkopf. He had a Totenkopf 1-to-1 on his fucking chest for 20 years. Cope, mauled, seethe, deny reality all you fucking want. I'm dying on this fucking hill. He's either a Nazi or he's too fucking stupid to be in the government. I don't care. I would say this to his fucking face if I had the ability to converse with him. I'd say, Graham, I've heard all the shit you've said. You say a lot of leftist shit. You sound a lot like a socialist. My problem is that fucking tattoo, bro. You had that shit on you for 20 fucking years, homie. So are you either a Nazi or so fucking stupid that you had a Totenkopf tattooed on you for 20 years and didn't fucking know that it was a goddamn Nazi symbol? I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you guys. Wise Guy says Valenti hates America and loves unbiblical abortion and hates America's greatest ally, Israel. Correct, correct, and correct. Thank you. Yeah. Hate America. Well, here's the thing. I actually love America. I hate our government. You see, I love America more than you. That's why I wanted to improve, okay? That's why I'm a progressive. You are regressive. You want us to go back. Chris loves unbiblical abortion. Correct. And hates America's greatest ally, Israel. Correct. Yes. I forgot that our greatest ally drags us into World War III and holds blackmail over the President of the United States. I forgot that our greatest ally sinks the USS Liberty and slaughters American soldiers and then never fucking apologizes for it. I forgot that our greatest ally takes more money from my fucking taxes than my own fucking state does. You're right, dude. You're right. You're so right. My bad. My bad. Thanks for making me seem even more fucking based. Appreciate that. Plattner is against Israel, big guy. Yeah, so is every fucking Nazi I know. Not for the same reasons that I am. Not for the same reasons that I am. Wow, you should go to Russia since you are such a Marxist and love communism. You think Russia is a communist nation right now? Hold on. Wise Guy. Do you actually think that Russia right now is a communist nation that practices Marxism? Do you actually think that? Wise Guy, do you genuinely think that? Holy fuck, you're stupid. Holy fuck, you're stupid. See, guys, this is why I always say you don't need to take, like, Republicans seriously. He said, yes, it literally is. Guys, this is what I'm saying. You don't need to take, like, these are barely people. They know nothing about this world. And New York is too. Okay, he's trolling. My bad. He's trolling. Wise Guy, you're trolling. You're trolling. You've got to be trolling. You've got to be trolling, right? You're trolling. You're trolling. You think New York City, the capital of capitalism, is communist? I bet you voted for Kami Mamdani. You'd be correct. You'd be correct. Nah, he's rage baiting. This guy's rage baiting. How's Mamdani treating New York City? Better than any mayor we've ever fucking had, bro. He's done more in the past, like, 2 months than, like, any other fucking mayor that we've had did in their entire time as mayor. Well, now you're just selecting idiots from the chat to make everyone who disagreed about Plattner like they are in the same group. What? I don't think Wise Guy said a word about Plattner, bro. The fuck? Pretty sure Wise Guy didn't say a fucking word about Plattner. The fuck? No, Chris, I thought you beat the nicotine addiction. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Chris, listen to Plattner talk and say that what he's promising is in any way Nazi. No, what he says is all socialist, leftist values. That's why I believe that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, much like John Fetterman. He'll say and do whatever the fuck he has to do to get into power, and then he'll immediately have like a fucking 180. I can't prove that that'll happen, but who knows? Who knows? It's happened before. It's happened before. You know? How is Putin out-strategizing the entire U.S. government? Putin has access to video files of Donald Trump raping children. So does Bibi Netanyahu, or he did before he died. So the Israelis and the Russians have unlimited blackmail on Donald Trump. They can get him to do whatever the fuck they want. So you prefer Suzanne Collins, Chris? No, I'd prefer somebody who didn't have a Nazi tattoo on their chest for 20 years. I'd prefer a socialist that didn't have Nazi insignias tattooed on their chest for 20 years. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much to ask for? Do you shoot guns for fun? I do. Like who? Fucking anybody. Anybody who is a leftist and doesn't have a fucking Nazi tattoo on their chest. Why are you guys so fucking triggered by me not supporting Graham Plattner? You guys are so fucking triggered, bro. Thank you, Shag. Why is it such a hot take that his tattoo is fucked up? He also said fucked up shit about women too. Like, yeah, like guys, also take his tattoo out of it. This guy was a fucking contractor for Blackwater. Or is it Blackwater? Yeah. He was like a mercenary. He was also like first boots on the ground in the Middle East. Like this guy's a murderer. This guy has murdered civilians. The fuck? Bernie supports Plattner? Yeah, Bernie also supports Israel. I love Bernie, but, you know, again, like I said earlier, please don't expect me to agree with absolutely everything that, like, my superiors say and do. I have my own belief system. You know? You know? He claimed that it was from a drunken night in Croatia, but he had 20 years to get that tattoo removed. That also makes it worse. Croatia dealt with the Nazis. So, like, for you to get that, first of all, let me explain something, okay? I'm covered in tattoos, bro. You cannot get that tattooed on you unless a Nazi tattoos it on you. Understand this. I'm sure maybe somebody in here is a tattoo artist. You can't go to a fucking tattoo parlor and say, hey, give me a Nazi insignia. They will kick you out. They might even call the police. They'll definitely beat the fuck out of you. The only way you can get that shit tattooed on you is to go to a Nazi tattoo parlor and have a Nazi tattoo it on you. So his fucking excuse actually makes it worse. A capitalist will tattoo it on you. Fair point. Fair point. Fair point. A true capitalist, they'll tattoo fucking anything on you if you got money. Bro, as an experiment, and I don't recommend this, but go to a fucking tattoo parlor and say, hey, would you tattoo this swastika on me? They'll beat the fuck out of you, dude. Yeah, it says a lot about the people he was fucking hanging out with. You know? Yeah, don't do that. Don't actually do that. Because the reason why you're getting flack is because you opened the stream flaming purity politics, but then don't support Plattner because of purity politics. Not supporting somebody with Nazi insignias tattooed on their chest for multiple decades is purity politics? What? Okay, so you're saying that having a Nazi insignia tattooed on your chest for 20 years is the same as somebody having a previous campaign manager being a Zionist. Those are on the same lengths? Those are on the same level for you? Are you dead ass? Are you dead ass? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, chatter. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Holy fuck. Thank you for the $10. So many of you are being ridiculous. You're showing that you can't handle the difference of opinion. Chris isn't ridiculous for not trusting Plattner. Nazis are famous for using socialism as a Trojan horse. Yeah, literally, it's in the fucking name. The National Socialists, they use socialism as a way to get themselves in power because everybody and their fucking mother knows that socialism is the best, it is the most beneficial system of governance for the working class. It's a great way to rise to power, just like how the Nazis did. Thank you for the $20. Woke up to nightmare news. I thought I'd send a donation. Love your stuff. Thanks for keeping me informed. Go. You're welcome, Ivan. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I hope you guys understand you're allowed to disagree with me. You know? If you having one disagreement with me leads you to, like, unfollow me or some shit, you're just a weak little baby back bitch. Like, you guys do know that, like, I vehemently support the creation and utilization of fucking gulags, right? That's never been a joke. I support re-education camps and gulags, as long as I get to choose who goes to them. But that's not a joke. And I know many of you think that that is fucking insane, and it is. And I'm insane. You not know who I am? Do you not know where you are? Do you not know who I am? The fuck? I am the Dark Woke Commander. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. All right. Regardless, we got work to do. We got work to do. All right. I do want to just check the rest of this docu-tussy before we dive in. Christian National being used. Raphael Zodiac Killer Cruz. Raphael the Zodiac Killer Cruz is saying Christ is King is anti-Semitic now. I saw this shit, dude. This shit was hilarious.
So, it is being used online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew. It is being used in a context very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online code word.
He's talking about the term Christ is King. Now, here's the thing. He's not 100% wrong. There are a lot of fucking Nazis who say Christ is King because they can't type out Sig Heil without getting banned, right? But no, saying Christ is King is not anti-Semitic. It's stupid. It means you're a Christian, which means you're a fucking idiot. So definitely stupid, but not anti-Semitic. Thank you for the $10. Cincinnati just ran out a Nazi tattoo artist from town a couple of weeks ago. He was trying to open up a new shop in the neighborhood. He tried posting up and wasn't having any of that trash around. Fuck yeah. I've had many disagreements, but I stick around and support you because in the end of the day, you're going towards the same goal as me. Hell fucking yeah, Brody. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Christ is King sounds like I voted MAGA. Absolutely. Absolutely. Started watching you 2 months ago. Was previously politically neutral. I've been converted. Hell fucking yeah, Deja Moore 9733. Thank you for the $5 and welcome to the OAL. I appreciate you. Chris, I think you're wrong about Platinum, but I still love you, big guy. You can think I'm wrong. Well, you can't think I'm wrong. You can support Platinum, but I'm not wrong when I say he had a Nazi insignia tattooed on his chest for 20 years. That's an irrefutable fact. You're not allowed to disagree with that. You need to own up to the fact that you are okay with that. You need to swallow that pill. You are okay with the fact that he had a Nazi insignia tattooed on his chest for 20 years. I am not. That's where it is. You need to swallow that pill and accept that reality. It's very simple. Yeah, plus I'm always right, so, you know. I'm only voting for Graham because of the tattoo. So you're a Nazi, wise guy? Is that just like a coward's way of saying you support Nazis? Is that what you're saying, wise guy? Is that what you're saying? He's the rage baiter? I know, but he might mean it. Is that what you're saying? Not a Nazi, just have a brain. Well, no, answer this question. Don't pivot. You said you're only voting for him because of his tattoo. His tattoo is a Nazi insignia. So do you or do you not support Nazis? It's an incredibly simple question. Whoa. Bro saying all this while his mouth tastes like a geek bar. Fucking fab. It ain't fucking fab. It's juicy watermelon ice. How did you know? You definitely know that fucking fab is a flavor. You're definitely a vapor. You're definitely a vapor. Chris isn't always right. Watch this. What's my birthday? August 4th. August 4th. Wise guy's just a teenager trying to be edgy? Probably. Probably. No, it's how he didn't answer the question. He didn't answer the question, bro. And the question was, do you support Nazis? It's the easiest question in the world to answer. It's a yes or no question. We weren't fighting the right side of the war in World War II. Oh, so you're a Nazi. Okay, I hope you get cancer and die young. You could ban him. Your mother's a fucking whore. Your father's a coward. Your grandmother was a $5 slut. She would have blown me for $5 in that trailer park she grew up in. All right, you could ban him. We don't deal with Nazis in this fucking chat. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, buddy. Bye-bye. I mean that shit, too. I mean that shit. See, I'm telling you, that guy wasn't rage baiting. That was a Nazi, bro. That was a Nazi. That was a Nazi. All right. Now we can get to work. Now we can get to work. I will bring this up. Hold on. I'll get that queued up. Guys, by the way, we spent 30 minutes arguing about a tattoo before recording. I know. I mean, it's fine, you know? We're live for a reason. I stopped talking to my brother because he couldn't say the simple sentence, Nazis are bad. Yeah, dude, your brother is inferior and subhuman. Thank you for the $5. Bella Ciao before we start? Yeah, let's do a little Bella Ciao before we start. Get her on the cube. Why ain't the cube working? I don't know why the cube ain't working. Let me unplug it and replug it. I didn't watch a new Spider-Man trailer yet. Hi, Mama. You okay? Go back to bed. Why ain't the cube working? Huh. That ain't normal. Cube ain't on, man. I just reset it. Let me click something. Oh, there we go. Now the cube is on. Yeah. There we go. It's losing power, though. I'm telling you, it's losing its power. Yeah, it's getting dimmer and dimmer each day, man. Oh, and it died. It died. Oh, never mind. It was just overtaken by a donation. Okay, that's fine. There's people on this earth like wise guys so insufferable, not even Nick Fuentes likes them. Yeah, I know, dude. They're hated by everybody, including their own fucking mothers. Their mothers would celebrate if they blew their heads off. Okay, quick Bella Ciao to start.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, 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 ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Un bella ciao, 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 ciao. Partigiano, portami via. Che mi sento di morir.
Hell yeah, gang. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. What are you doing? Why? You got your bed, you got your toys, you got treats, you got dinner, you got, not dinner, you got breakfast, lunch, water, you got everything you fucking need, baby. Your vocal control is legit improving, King. Guys, I am trained. You do know the reason why I'm so entertaining is because I went to acting school, right? I used to teach improv. I didn't just do improv, I used to teach improv. Yeah, I went to acting school too. Luigi. What? Come here. He's a drama kid, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But who are we?
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We fight for the gospel and honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk.
Thank you for the $5. A good friend of mine introduced me to your content, and you've become even more based with each new video. Shout out Comrade Lilith for based taste. Thank you, Grim Belites, for the $5 and the kind words. I greatly appreciate you, which is why I'm going to consume you. I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna fucking eat you. And depending on how crunchy you are, I'll be able to tell whether or not you are an orphan. You know? You know? Luigi! Dohairas likiri! Luigi! Luigi! Kommer till Hilfe! Laus! Gut Hund. Gut Hund. Good Hund. Good dog. Good girl. All right. All right. Y'all ready? Say my name. Heisenberg. Thank you for the $2, DL Peaches. Here they want to make a Kirk quarter now. That's pretty sick, dude. I'd love to be like, hey, keep the Kirk, you know, like pay for something. And then like they're like, oh, your change is a nickel. And I'm like, keep the Kirk, you know. That'd be hilarious. Keep the Kirk. You know, I want them to name, like, fucking highways after Charlie Kirk so I could say that I'm merging onto the Kirk Way. Do you know how fucking sick that would be? Be like, oh, I'm merging onto the Kirk Way right now. Let me call you back. I gotta hop on the Kirk Way. I'll call you back. You know, that'd be fucking awesome. Thanks to you, I was able to educate my mom over a series of months, and she is now part of the OAL. Fuck yeah, Bay Queen, and congratulations to Mama Bay Queen. Welcome to the OAL. I will fight alongside you, and I will die for your freedom. I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees, okay? Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna be late to work, boss. I got into an accident on the Kirkway. You know, come on. Come on. Spare a Kirk? You know, like a homeless guy. Spare a Kirk.
Charlie Kirky. I just bought the parking. Charlie Kirky.
What are you doing, Weenie? Here, get in your bed and take a little nap. All right. Yeah, guys, don't forget. If you're watching this, do me a quick favor just so I could, you know, pop off. Please hit me with some likes. Hit me with some fucking likes. For fuck's sake, you're sitting there, you're not clicking the thumb, you asshole. Bro, what are your orders if you get slimed out? Bro, if I ever got slimed out, I got a manifesto that will be immediately dead man switch published on all platforms. And it will bring about the communist revolution. This is for legal reasons. That's a joke. That's a joke. Okay? That's a joke for legal reasons. I'm kirking out, man. All right. Before we get started, hit that like button for me. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that notification bell. You know how it is. Drop me a quick $2,000. Real quick. Bismillah. Holy shit, dude. You are something. Such a character. Yeah. You ever played a character for so long that you forgot who you really are, man? You see, I believe in fake it till you make it, right? And a very long time ago, over a decade ago, I literally decided, I said, I'm gonna be famous. So I decided that I already was. And now I have imposter syndrome. Thank you for the $5. Making a Charlie Kirk quarter after saying the hole was the size of a quarter is crazy work. It is indeed. Thank you for the 2 Kirks. Appreciate you. Ugh. You'll be wrong about him? I hope I am. I hope I'm wrong about Graham Plattner. Hope to God. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? You ready to dive in? You ready to lock in? You ready to lock in? Kirk be with you. You ready to lock in? Lock in. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, let me just double check what the fuck I'm talking about. 5,000-pound bombs. Trump pulling out of NATO. Boots on the ground. Joe Kent. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. All right. Y'all ready? Here we go. Here we go. Donald Trump is threatening to pull the United States of America out of the NATO alliance. On top of that, today he threatened to nuke Iran. We're also guaranteed putting boots on the ground. It is the only way to take Karg Island. Trump was even asked. He was like, what is there? Are you afraid that this will turn into another Vietnam? And he said, I'm not afraid of anything. That's his genuine reaction to it. We also dropped 5,000-pound bombs on the coast of Iran this morning. I didn't even know that we had 5,000-pound bombs, because just so you can understand, for a comparison here, Joe Biden, who proudly funded the Israeli genocide of the Gazans, even he refused to give Israel 2,000-pound bombs. He was like, nah, I know what you're going to do with those. So now, I mean, the axis of Epstein is quite literally moving like Adolf fucking Hitler, bro. 5,000-pound bombs, primarily being dropped on fucking civilians. The overwhelming majority of the people that we have killed in Iran have been civilians. Thousands of them, women and children. We're barely touching their fucking drone manufacturing because we don't know where it is. If you're confused about like we keep on saying Trump's like, we destroyed the Iranian Air Force. It's like, sure, you got rid of their jets, but this is modern warfare, dog. Jets are obsolete. Modern warfare is drones and cyber attacks. That's modern warfare. And the fucking Iranians, they've got these secret facilities scattered throughout their mountain fortress of a fucking nation where it looks like a fucking piece of sand opens up in the desert and out comes a Shahed drone and then it closes back down. Like, I'm starting to think that the Iranians have an underground that looks like fucking Speranza. Shout out Arc Raiders. But like, dead ass. So we can't even... We don't even know how to stop them. And the Iranians are making more drones than they know what to do with. They're literally manufacturing these drones faster than they're firing them. They have a virtually unlimited supply of the drones, which costs like $20,000 to make, and it costs us over $1.6 million to shoot a single one down if we even hit it. Oftentimes we'll fire a $1.6 million interceptor at that fucking drone and it won't even hit its target. $1.6 million just thrown out the fucking window. It's crazy. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Before we do dive in, I want to just say hi. How are you? I'm Chris Valenti. This is the Valenti VOD. My fucking chair is sinking because I have a fucking hydraulic leak and I hate it. I'm gonna Brian Kilmeade. That's what I'm saying here. This is real independent media. Now, there are a lot of motherfuckers out there who have YouTube channels and they will lie to your fucking face and call themselves independent media. I'm not naming any names. I am gonna name names. You know exactly who the fuck you are. Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk. Like, these motherfuckers pretended like they were independent media. Okay, and they're not. They are online media, and you know that they are online media and not independent media because they do ad reads. They have sponsors, you know, they have advertisers, right? So I don't do that. I have no ads. I have no sponsors. I have the regular YouTube AdSense revenue that you couldn't even turn off if you fucking wanted, right? So I don't do that shit. That's why you know that what I'm telling you is my genuine fucking opinion. I'm telling you the fucking truth here. So if you do want to support me financially, you could do what Lele Loudmouth just did, and you can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly, okay? You can also go down below to buy merch. Like we got posters, we got mugs, we got hoodies, we got hats, we got stickers, we got all that shit, okay? That's down below. You can click the join button down below to become a member for $5. That'll give you access to the member-only content and some pretty cool emotes, like the emotes of Luigi. And then other than that, you can become a patron on Patreon. It is very important that you become a patron on Patreon, even if you become an unpaid patron, or you don't have to pay money. But in case this platform ever gets nuked, you'll be able to find me on Patreon. Other than that, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That costs you fuck all, and it helps me immensely, especially because this YouTube algorithm fucking despises me. I don't even know if the notification bell works. Like, the YouTube algorithm genuinely fucking despises me. I got 11 copyright violations in one fucking day the other day. So, you know, maybe it's because I'm a dissident of the fucking Fuhrer and we're in wartime. And, you know, in times of war, freedom is usually fucking prohibited. Guys, y'all are spamming emotes and on the screen. One of these days, I gotta fix this. I gotta make this actually show the emotes because it just says, like, the code for the emotes. We got to figure out how to do that. I got to figure out how to do that one of these days. All right. Without further ado, let's just dive right in. First thing I want to show you is Donald Trump talking about pulling us out of NATO without congressional approval. Now, readers did add context for this. Section 125OA of the FY 2024 NDAA, whatever fucking gibberish legal jargon legalese, prohibits the president from withdrawing the U.S. from NATO without 2/3 Senate supermajority or an act of Congress. So he is blatantly incorrect, but you got to hear it from the fucking pedophile's mouth.
Are you rethinking the United States' relationship with NATO possibly getting out? Or
well, I'm disappointed in NATO that we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. Think of it, trillions over the years, many trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons we have deficits and we help other countries. And when they don't help us, I mean, it's certainly something that we should think about. I don't need Congress for that decision, as you
Wrong.
probably know. I can make that decision myself. I'd work with some very smart people. And I'd always deal with Congress anyway. But
Bro, you don't need Congress for fucking anything, bro. Congress is moot. Like, motherfucker, you don't need Congress for shit, apparently. Why the fuck do we even have Congress? Motherfucker, you don't give a shit. You don't even give a fuck about the Supreme Court. Don't forget, the Supreme Court has ruled multiple times against him, and he just ignores it entirely. And this is because there is no authoritative body for the Supreme Court or Congress. Congress or the Supreme Court can impeach the motherfucker. They could rule that everything he's doing is illegal and he should be arrested. And yet they couldn't arrest him because Secret Service, they'll fight to the last man, bro. Like, literally, they'll just fucking kill you. You cannot touch the president of the United States, especially because the Supreme Court already ruled that literally nothing he can do is illegal, as long as it's an official act of the president. Meaning, and this is real, they confirmed this on video during the Supreme Court case, Donald Trump could literally murder somebody, and as long as it's an official presidential action, he will never face the consequences for it. What does OAL stand for? It stands for the Only Americans Left. There was a lot of different people in this chat. I'm a socialist. I'm sure there's a couple of liberals here. I'm sure there's a couple of fucking anarchists here. I'm sure there's libertarians. I'm sure there's even a fucking Republican. As long as you understand that Donald J. Trump is a fascist and a threat to democracy, you are welcome in the OAL, okay? Now, I'm going to do my best to convert you to socialism, but As long as you understand this pedophile piece of shit is a threat to democracy, you're welcome here.
Smart people. And I'd always deal with Congress anyway, but I don't need Congress for that decision. But, you know, when you say rethink, I have nothing currently in mind, but I will say that I'm not exactly thrilled when we help them with Ukraine. Look, Ukraine would have been over in one day if we didn't help. Frankly, Ukraine would have been over in the first day. They had the best equipment in the world. It was our equipment.
All right, so there's the President of the United States threatening to pull the United States out of the world's strongest alliance, essentially making all of our former allies adversaries. And just so you know, that would immediately make them all turn to China as the world's superpower. They would swap the US dollar with the Chinese yuan as the world reserve currency. That would literally be the complete and total destruction of the global economy. That is what he is threatening. All right. Got a Truth Social post on him. This is when Trump is threatening to nuke Iran. I wonder what would happen if we finished off what's left of the Iranian terror state and let the countries that use it, we don't, be responsible for the so-called Strait. That would get some of our non-responsive allies in gear and fast, President DJT. Please do not fool yourself into thinking that this is anything other than a nuclear threat. The only way that you could, in one strike, just finish off Iran is to fire multiple nuclear weapons at them. Multiple. What, you think one is going to do it? It's a mountain fortress with 93 million people in it. You'd have to fucking nuke the entire goddamn country relentlessly over and over again. And he's saying that we don't use the Strait. Brother, the Strait of Hormuz has 20% of the world's oil flows through it, bro. That would affect the and it has affected the global oil market. It doesn't matter whether you get your oil from the Strait. It will still change the prices of a barrel of oil, you stupid fuck. This is like if you were, I don't know, if you were growing soybeans, right? And you were like, hey, we grow our own soybeans. We don't need the soybeans from that area. But if that area has a fuckload of soybeans and suddenly they all die, now the value of soybeans has changed. It doesn't matter whether you fucking use it or not, you stupid fat fascist. Oh my God. All right. Now we got news about the 5,000-pound bombs. This is from U.S. Central Command.
Hours ago, U.S. forces successfully employed multiple 5,000-pound deep penetrator munitions on hardened Iranian missile sites along Iran's coastline near the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranian anti-ship cruise missiles in these sites posed a risk to international shipping in the strait.
So guys, I need you to understand. That doesn't matter, bro. You could take out their fucking missiles. You're not touching their drones. You're not touching their drone manufacturing. What the fuck do you think they've been firing for the past 20 days? Shahed drones, man. You only need one of them to hit one of our fucking warships and you'd have a catastrophe on your hands, let alone an oil tanker. An oil tanker? Hey, buddy, you know oil is flammable, right? You fucking jackasses. Oh my God. So literally this whole post is like, hey, guess what? We dropped multiple 5,000-pound bombs and accomplished nothing. U.S. deploys bunker busters in the Hormuz strike. U.S. CENTCOM confirmed that multiple 5,000-pound deep penetrator bombs were used against the hardened Iranian missile positions along the Strait of Hormuz. These sites allegedly stored and deployed anti-ship cruise missiles that threatened commercial shipping in one of the world's most vital energy corridors. The operation, carried out by B-1B Lancer bombers, marks one of the most forceful U.S. interventions in the conflict so far. So I hope you understand that what this is going to lead to is the Iranians mining the ever-loving fuck out of the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't mean mine like Minecraft, you stupid gooner. I mean laying mines in the fucking water. And on top of that, they're just gonna fucking target the entire strait with their drones. This isn't going to accomplish literally fucking anything. All right, I do want to show you this. This is one of the most disturbing and demonic fucking things I've ever read. This is from Haaretz, which is an actual Israeli newspaper. So this is what the Israelis are willing to admit on their own. Wow. It literally won't even let me fucking... This is a report from an Israeli commander. All right. Opinion. When you leave Israel and enter Gaza, you are God, inside the minds of IDF rat men who commit war crimes. Listen to this. Quote, a new commander came to us. We went out with him on the first patrol at 6 in the morning. He stops. There's not a soul in the streets, just a little 4-year-old boy playing in the sand in his yard. The commander suddenly starts running, grabs the boy, and breaks his arm at the elbow and his leg here. Stepped on his stomach 3 times and left. We all stood there with our mouths open, looking at him in shock. I asked the commander, "What's your story?" He told me, "These kids need to be killed from the day they are born. When a commander does that, it becomes legit." And he's right. When a commander does that, it legitimizes his ground troops, his little privates and corporals to do that too. So people wonder why I genuinely despise all Israelis. This is why. It's not because Benjamin Netanyahu is the one responsible for this. No, it is 70 to 90% of the Israeli population who vehemently supports the genocide in Gaza and vehemently supports America sending its boys and girls to go fight and die in Iran at the behest of the Israelis. So yeah, no, I consider them to be fucking rat people, and I will never apologize for that. Fuck Israel and fuck Israelis. All right, now we're going to watch the we're going to watch the Mexican gay Nazi. This is a closeted homosexual twink. He's also a Mexican that role plays as a white supremacist. We're going to watch him, Nick Fuentes, abandon Trump entirely, and in fact saying that he needs to be impeached for treason. Guys, you know that the Trump regime is failing miserably when even the fucking Nazis are getting tired of him. Listen to this shit. I'm going to speed him up because I hate watching this motherfucker speak.
So you always thought that your own nominee to be the director of the Counterterrorism Center?
So he's talking about Joe Kent. If you don't know this, Joe Kent, who is the head of counterterrorism here in the United States, he resigned and he cited Trump's illegal and offensive war in Iran at the behest of Israel for his reasoning to resign.
Was bad on security. So why then did you appoint him in the first place? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, that's something we're going to talk about. Nick is right here. Trump said that he always thought that Joe Kent was soft on terror. And what's her fucking name? Caroline No Lip Levitt. She was like, yeah, no, Joe Kent was terrible at his job. And so it's like a lose-lose because it's like, then why the fuck did you hire him? If you always thought he was weak. By the way, fucking this guy, Joe Kent, is like one of the most racist, anti-Semitic motherfuckers out there, okay? He's like a proud white supremacist. So he was already disqualified, but you know, you're all fucking white supremacists, so I don't blame you for picking him. But it's a lose-lose. You're saying, why the fuck would you hire him then?
And see, this is where you got to say about Trump, I'm done with this guy. Are you kidding me? So Joe Kent, by the way, is totally correct about this. This is a complete break from America First foreign policy. And that is why people signed up. This is why people voted in 2016, 2020, and 2024. There are a lot of people that voted 3 times because of this.
No, they voted for Trump 3 times because they are retards. Anybody who voted for Trump 3 times is genuinely like unfit to breathe. You're so fucking stupid, I wouldn't trust you with a pencil.
Because they wanted an end to the endless wars, specifically in the Middle East. Not in Cambodia, not in Congo, not in Pakistan, but in the Middle East. And these Israel-driven wars against Israel's enemies. People voted 3 times because they wanted Americans to stop dying in Syria, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and elsewhere.
No, they voted 3 times for Donald Trump because they wanted to see the largest mass deportation campaign in American history. And people like me were warning you. I hope you understand that comes with a Nazi Gestapo force patrolling the streets, rounding people up and sending them to concentration camps. I was saying that shit since way before, like, Trump was guaranteed going to win the election. Because, guys, there's no other way to deport between 20 and 30 million people without having a Gestapo force in concentration camps, unless you're so stupid that you think you can detain somebody and deport them the exact same fucking day. You can't do that. You could detain somebody and execute them the exact same day, which is what we are going to start to do.
And Trump has obviously broken with that, as he has plunged America into a war of choice, a war of aggression.
Chatter just said, Valenti, Bibi Netanyahu is in a coma. Do you have any confirmation of this, or are you just talking out of your fucking ass?
Something that was totally unnecessary. It's not a preemptive strike because it didn't preempt anything. It wasn't in self-defense because we were never attacked. It wasn't about securing a vital American interest because it's hard to parse what interest is outweighed by a regime change war in a mountainous country 3 times the size of Iraq with a population of 90 million. So Joe Kent is correct. You broke your promise. You betrayed America first. Consequently, he's stepping down. And what does Trump say? Well, he was always bad on security. Really? Then why did you appoint him to be the director of counterterrorism if he was so bad on security? You liar.
Dude, I love watching this inferior subhuman fucking rat slowly realize how fucking stupid he is, bro. We've been saying this shit for years, bro. How are you just now realizing that Donald Trump is a liar? Of all things, bro. Like he's a pedophile, he's a warmonger, he's a fascist. You're just realizing that he's a liar? In the year of our Lord 2026, you're finally realizing Donald J. Trump is a fucking liar. I don't know why anybody fucking listens to this guy.
You utter liar and deceiver and traitor. What does that even mean? We was always bad on security. Okay, so then you should be impeached for treason. Because either every word out of your fat, disgusting mouth is a lie, or you committed treason. You appointed somebody to run the counterterrorism center that, in your own words, you had no confidence in. You thought he was always bad on security, so that's a dereliction of duty. You should be impeached. You plunge us into a war with Iran where there's a high risk of sleeper cells on U.S. soil activating.
Yeah, there's definitely a high risk of sleeper cells on U.S. soil activating. None of them are Iranian. All of them are Israeli.
Iran all the time. We're in a heightened state of security because of what has been happening. And you appoint someone that's always been bad on security to defend the homeland and run counterterrorism, okay, then you should be impeached. Or you're a liar, in which case you should also be impeached. It's too much. It's too much at this point. I've just had it up to here. I can't tolerate anymore. I'm not a stupid person.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not a dummy.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm not a sycophant either.
Yeah,
I can
you
be a
are.
very loyal person, and I understand that there is some deference that is owed to the leader of any organization, of any movement, but this is bullshit. This is insulting. This is insulting to the intelligence of every American. This is insulting to the dignity of every American soldier. You sit there in the Oval Office and you say, well, I always thought he was bad on security. Hey, dumbass, who appointed him then? Do you even think before you speak, or do you think nobody's paying attention or nobody cares? It's disgusting.
By the way, this is a grifter, okay? This is a grifter. And when it was edgy and popular to be a Nazi, that's what he was doing. And now Nick, who at least, I'll give it to him, he can at least read the fucking room. Now that he's seeing that everybody and their mother thinks that these Groiper Nazi, unlovable, unfuckable fucking dorks are the absolute bottom of the barrel, excuse me, bottom of the barrel, worst members of our society, he's trying to tack to the left because he sees the rise of socialism. Do not ever convince yourself that you are agreeing with Nick Fuentes. You're not. He is agreeing with you. He is agreeing with us. He is realizing that the only way to maintain relevancy moving forward in the political sphere is to abandon Donald Trump. Anybody and everybody who stays with him is going to be left in the fucking dirt like Ben Shapiro. All right. But it ain't just Nick. It's also average Americans. So here's some dumb cunt. Let's watch her.
Trump. Let's take a listen to one more woman who we spoke with.
This is in Pennsylvania.
If you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You are a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Correct. Correct. Please shut the fuck up forever. Never vote again. Like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, bitch. And no, we will not forgive you. You should live a life of quiet shame and never admit that you ever voted for Donald Trump, let alone all 3 fucking times. All right, now we're going to move on to Donald Trump saying that he's not afraid to put boots on the ground in Iran and that he doesn't give a fuck if it turns into the next Vietnam.
Because the Iranian regime has told Sky News, if you put boots on the ground in Iran, it will be another Vietnam. Are you afraid of that?
No, I'm really not afraid of anything.
So, he said it. He said he is not afraid of putting boots on the ground and he is not afraid of this conflict turning into another Vietnam. Now, that is a direct insinuation at invoking the draft, okay? Now we're going to listen to Caroline No Lip Levitt try to reassure us that there is, in fact, a plan to open up the Strait of Hormuz. There isn't one. And I'm going to show you we're now at the point where the Trump regime is, I'm not kidding, begging China to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz and help open it. Do you know how cucked that is? Do you understand how unbelievably cucked that is, bro? You told us that China's our #1 adversary. You're the one telling us that, like, the Chinese Communist Party is the biggest threat to American democracy. And now you're out here. By the way, they're not. But now you're out here inviting them to the most important oil route in the world to help control it. It's the fucking craziest shit I've ever heard.
That the allies seem to have rebuffed the president's request for help, and now he says he no longer needs their help.
So the question is like, how do you explain the fact that Trump is begging for help from other world leaders to open up the strait? Meanwhile, he's also saying, I don't need any help from anybody. Because that's exactly what he fucking said.
What is the plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz quickly?
The president is going to continue to talk to our allies, both in Europe and also in the Gulf and Arab region. The United States military has a lot of capabilities, as you have seen play out over the last 18 days. And they still do have tricks up their sleeve. I won't broadcast them for the media, but rest assured there is a plan.
Okay, so there's no plan. When Caroline No Lip Levitt tells you, rest assured there is a plan, but then also does not lay out the plan. Yeah, you know what? I bet you have a plan. I bet you have the same type of plan like Trump's healthcare plan. It just doesn't fucking exist. You guys know there's already been leaks from the Situation Room that the Trump regime didn't even consider the fact that the Iranians might close the Strait of Hormuz. And it's because he surrounds himself with yes men and sycophants. If you challenge Trump in any way, shape, or form, he kicks you out of the room. He might even kick you out of the entire regime. So he's it really does remind me of Hitler, bro, because people forget that Hitler was a fucking idiot. He knew nothing about military strategy, right? And my favorite example of this is Dunkirk, right? Maybe you've seen the movie Dunkirk, all the British troops who are stuck on the fucking shore. They have no way out. The Germans are getting closer and closer. This is some Hitler level shit, right? Because Hitler, they could have sent in the Wehrmacht. They could have sent in boots on the ground and tanks to wipe out the British army, right? Sorry, my bad. Revoke what I just said. They could have sent the Luftwaffe, the Air Force, to just mow everybody down. But then Hitler wouldn't have gotten the credit for it. It would have gone to Hermann Göring, the head of the Luftwaffe. But Hitler was so stupid and he was so selfish and petty that he was like, nein, do not send the Luftwaffe because then Hermann Göring will get the credit. Send the Wehrmacht and the tank brigade because then I will get the credit. Meanwhile, the entire time they were doing that, the fucking Brits started to send civilian ships and they brought them back home. Like, this is the level of stupidity that Trump is operating in.
Working on it. I won't broadcast them for the media, but rest assured there is a plan. They're working on it. We have seen some progress with respect to that, but of course the president, again, continues to call on our allies to step up and do more.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the exact same breath, he's saying that we don't need help. All right, I got more from the demon cunt.
I'll ask one other question, leave that to others, which is very simply, can the president declare this war effort a success if the U.S. does not retrieve Iran's nuclear fuel?
Look, that's something the president has refused to comment on. It's an option on the table for him, but I'm not going to comment on it. Or
just so you guys know, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be exactly what happened in the early 2000s. We will get boots on the ground. We will probably do like a Spec Ops Halo drop into these fucking nuclear facilities at Isfahan and Natanz and all that shit. And they're not going to find weapons of mass destruction. They're not going to find enriched uranium capable of making a nuclear bomb. They're not going to find anything. It's going to be exactly what happened when we found there were no WMDs in Iraq, right? Now, here's the problem. This regime would find nothing and then fake it. They would actually provide us with something, be like, look what we found. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter. They're going to lie to you regardless.
Take it off the table. We've defined the objectives of Operation Epic Fury very clearly, which is, of course, to wipe out Iran's ballistic missile arsenal, which we have been very successful in doing.
No, you haven't. Israel is being pelted every single fucking day by Iranian ballistic missiles, inshallah, with fucking cluster munitions on it, bro. And the Iranians haven't even tapped into their Mach 4 hypersonic missiles. They sent one. As a show of force, they sent one, and they were like, watch this. And then the Israelis and us fired 10 fucking interceptors, each one at $1.6 million, so something between like $10 and $15 million. We fired 10 interceptors at one single hypersonic missile. All 10 missed. All 10 interceptors fucking missed, and that missile went barreling down into Israel like this. Like that, just fucking barreled right into Tel Aviv.
We've achieved dominance over the skies of Iran to annihilate their navy, which we have done. According to CENTCOM this morning, I received the updated numbers. More than 120 naval vessels are at the bottom of the sea because of our United States Armed Forces. That's a great thing for the American people. That's a great thing for our allies in the region. And of course, to ensure that, yes, Iran cannot permanently cannot possess a nuclear weapon is something this president has long said for decades, but I'm not going to forecast or remove any future options off the table.
Still have the ability to produce a nuclear weapon or no?
Look, again, we're in a place right now where we're ensuring that Iran can no longer threaten the United States of America, and the United States military is doing a tremendous job.
Bitch, you yourself literally posted on Twitter that Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States of America after you guys tried to queue us up for a false flag event of like an Iranian drone attack in California, and everybody and their mother, including myself, was like, nah, this is an Israeli false flag. Then you withdrew the entire fucking plan, went out and tweeted. You said, no, let me be clear, there was no imminent threat from Iran. Like, you literally, you're saying both fucking things.
At achieving these objectives.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Now I got a little clip here of this guy here. What the fuck is his name? This is a senator. I don't know what, Senator Cassidy.
Thank you very much, Senator. Good to
This is Fox News, by the way, so you need to understand, even Fox News is greasing up its viewers for a boots on the ground invasion.
see you this morning. Look, I want to go to something that happened last night. The GOP chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Mike McCall, said U.S. boots on the ground in Iran would be a game change and would need congressional approval. Democrat Senator Fetterman has said recently U.S. boots on the ground in Iran would be a red line. Where are you on this issue?
By the way, no, it wouldn't. For John Fetterman, no. John Fetterman says now that U.S. boots on the ground will be a red line and that he would no longer support it. Mark my words. Somebody clip this. I guarantee you, when we put boots on the ground, not if, when we put boots on the ground, and it will be an amphibious assault of Karg Island, I'm telling you right now, John Fetterman will support it, and he will say that this doesn't count as boots on the ground because it's actually just Karg Island. It's not mainland Iran. I want you to understand, this would be like if the Chinese put boots on the ground in Hawaii and then they start arguing, well, technically we're not invading the United States of America because this is just like a little fucking island off the coast. Brother, it's our territory. It's a state. It is the United States of America. Same thing with fucking Alaska. And the same applies to Karg Island. That is Iranian territory. You put boots on the ground in Karg Island, it is still putting boots on the ground in Iran.
Yeah, I think the president has been clear that he does not, put it this way, the president does not want forever wars. He has said that very clearly.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And the entirety of the military-industrial complex relies on forever wars in order to maintain their profit margins. What do you think? Do you think that like these like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, do you think they only make like a handful of bombs every year because that's how many we're going to use? No, they make these bombs and weapons in mass, knowing that we're going to have forever wars, and they'll use this surplus of weaponry for like 20 fucking years. Meanwhile, all the money that these military industrial complex companies make off of that weaponry, they'll use that to create the future tech. It's a never-ending fucking cycle. Our economy literally relies on war, whether we be fighting in it or not. Either we fight or we arm people who are fighting. We'll even arm both fucking sides. We don't give a shit.
The ground suggests to the American people that it is the beginning of a war like we had in Iraq and Afghanistan. So I think the president has to come to the American people and make a real case if he wants to do something along those lines.
No, he doesn't have to make a case at all. He is the Führer. He does not respect Congress. He does not respect the Supreme Court. He does not give a fuck about what the American people want.
To get that uranium out, that's why they've said that they would put boots on the ground, because you want to be able to get to that uranium.
Yeah, so getting to that uranium may require like a lot of boots on the ground. And now you're starting to talk about a lot of casualties. I'm not sure the president has made the case convincingly to the American people. He needs to do that.
Senator, it's great to have.
Well, also, listen, like there's the whole idea of manufacturing consent, right? Manufactured consent is necessary for all military operations, even if it is like a completely justified war, right? Like World War II, the United States joining in World War II was justified, but even that needed manufactured consent. We had to convince the American people to support that shit. We had to convince them to buy war bonds. We had to convince them to send their boys and girls to go fight and die, right? Trump is such a narcissist. He's so selfish. He's such a fascist that he doesn't even give a fuck about manufactured consent. He's like, so we're going to war and you're gonna like it. He doesn't give a fuck. You know, in the early 2000s, they spent years after 9/11 manufacturing consent and greasing up the American people so that they'd be ready to support the invasion of Iraq. They spent years doing that, and it worked. It fucking worked. It ain't gonna fucking work this time, Donnie boy. All right, this clip is fucking insane, bro. This is one of the Trump loyalists here. I forgot exactly what job he has within the regime, but he is a member of the Trump regime. This is him quite literally. I'm not kidding. He's going to say, this war will affect the average consumer, but that is the least of our concerns right now. That's you. That's me. He's saying, yes, this war is going to affect the average American, but we don't give a fuck. I'm not kidding. He's going to say that.
But the fact is that the U.S. economy is fundamentally sound, and that if it were to be extended, it wouldn't really disrupt the U.S. economy very much at all. It would hurt consumers, and we'd have to think about, if that continued, what we would have to do about that. But that's like really the last of our concerns right now, because we're very confident that this thing is going ahead of schedule.
Said it will definitely affect consumers, but that's the least of our concerns right now, bro. Like, listen, I don't understand how anybody can vote Republican without being mentally disabled. You have to be like so cucked. You have to be straight up slave-minded goy cattle in order to vote Republican. They are just agents of fucking Israel. They are warmongering fascists who are willing to bring about Armageddon so that Jesus Christ can return. Like, it's the most pathetic cucked shit on earth. All right. So here's Trump saying that here's the thing, guys, you're about to be a little bit confused here. Trump said that he spoke to a certain president who actually likes the war in Iran. A past president says, I wish I did it, but they didn't do it. I'm not kidding. I believe him. I believe him. But you got to remember, there's only so many presidents to choose from where it says, I wish I did it, right? So there's only so many living presidents. There's Joe Biden, there's Barack Obama, and there's George W. Bush and Donald Trump. That's it. Oh, and Bill Clinton, right? I believe him. I think that it's Bill Clinton. Because don't forget, like, Donald Trump sucked Bill Clinton's cock clean to completion. He throated it, he cupped the balls. He's gay for Clinton, right? And I guarantee you they, like, still talk and hang out. I don't think this is George W. Bush, because despite how fucking stupid George W. Bush is, he never would have started a war with Iran because he knew we would have fucking lost, okay? I don't think it's Joe Biden. I don't think he talks to Joe Biden. It's definitely not Barack Obama. Barack Obama would have never done this. In fact, when the Israelis approached Barack Obama and said, you're either going to go to war with Iran or we're going to bomb them, Barack Obama said, no, the fuck you're not. Okay, if you do that, we're going to cut all aid to the nation of Israel, right? So at least Obama stepped up a little bit when he was threatened by the Israelis.
7 years, no president was willing to do what I'm doing, and they should have done it a long time ago. It would have been a lot easier. There's no president that wanted to do it, and yet every president knew. I've spoken to a certain president, who I like, actually, a past president, former president. He said, I wish I did it. I wish I did, but they didn't do it. I'm doing it. Yeah.
I genuinely believe him. You know, like, he lies so much, you can tell when he's lying. He has these tells, you know, like he plays the accordion, the invisible accordion when he starts lying. I think he's telling the fucking truth. I think that he talked to Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton was like, oh, I wish I did it.
I can't tell you that. I don't want to embarrass him. It would be very bad for his career, even though he's got no career left. Go ahead, please.
I really do believe him, actually. All right, moving on. First thing I want to point out is why the fuck is Caroline Leavitt like duck lip trying to mog the entire American population? Like, why do you purse your fucking lips like you're a fucking goose? All right, anyway.
Caroline.
Oh, so this revolves around Joe Kent.
There was news yesterday when Joe Kent, who works...
Bro, she's... Like, dude, what is she mewing? Like, listen, for those who are watching, who are listening to this in the car, I'm mewing right now, bro. Like, that's what she fucking looks like, bro. She looks like she got hit in the face with a fucking shovel and it all got flattened.
For Tulsi Gabbard over at
Also, this looks like Pokemon evolution, right? Like what is it? What is it? Charmander and Charizard?
the DNI. A political appointee said he could no longer stay in his job. He was resigning over the
just stupid blonde cunts. The evolution of a stupid blonde cunt.
Iran war. So he had objections. When is the last time he saw President Trump?
This is hilarious. They're trying to throw shade, like do a hit piece on Joe Kent, the former head of counterterrorism. I'd be like, well, when was the last time you even talked to Trump? Bro, they're about to be like, they never talk and he was never even at the briefings and shit. Why the fuck would you admit that? Why the fuck would you admit that?
It's been a while. It's been a while since the president has seen him here at the White House. It's been a while since he's been involved in the process of the presidential daily briefs, and he's
the head of counterterrorism. Why?
Actually present for the president's intelligence briefings. This was an individual who was not involved in any of the discussions pre-operation and throughout this operation.
But he's the head of counterterrorism, and you guys were the ones saying that there's Iranian sleepers all over the place. Why the fuck would he not be there? That's so stupid.
I think the president views it as deeply unfortunate that this individual, who the president gave the privilege of working for the administration, put out this resignation on government letterhead with many falsehoods throughout, essentially accusing the president of being manipulated by foreign governments. That's
Sweetheart, there is a vault in Tel Aviv with videos of Donald J. Trump raping children. He is absolutely being controlled by foreign agents.
It's laughable and it's insulting. President Trump has been remarkably consistent on this issue of Iran for many, many years.
Really? Like when he said, the president of the United States of America will start a war with Iran because he is so bad at negotiation. That's what he said about fucking Barack Obama.
Before he ever entered politics, he has always said Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon. So anyone who works here should be well aware of the president's intentions and his peace through strength agenda and his willingness to use the United States military to achieve peace if and when necessary, as we have seen throughout Operation Epic Fury.
Yeah, dude, because war is peace. We're achieving peace by waging war and murdering children. It's very simple. Here's Trump himself admitting that Joe Kent, that like he always thought the guy that he hired for counter-terrorism was actually a fucking bumbling idiot.
Mr. President, your director of national counterterrorism, Joe Kent, he just resigned today. He said he can't support your conflict with Iran. What's your reaction to that? And did you?
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
Then why the fuck did you hire him?
I didn't know him well, but I thought he seemed like a pretty nice guy.
Okay, so again, I mean, I can't fucking believe Nick Fuentes said this earlier, but there's only two options here. Either you're so fucking stupid that you hired somebody for counterterrorism that you didn't think was good at it, or you committed treason by intentionally hiring somebody who was going light on counterterrorism. It's a lose-lose situation for you, Donnie Diddles kids.
But when I read his statement, I realized that it's a good thing that he's out, because he said that Iran was not a threat. Iran was...
So did Caroline No-Lip Levitt.
A threat. Every country realized what a threat Iran was. The question is whether or not they wanted to do something about it. And many people, many of the greatest military scholars are saying for years that presidents should have taken out Iran because they wanted a nuclear weapon. They were, if we didn't do the attack, or if, I'll go a step further, if I didn't terminate the Iran nuclear deal given to us, one of the worst deals ever made by Barack Hussein Obama. Remember when they sent Boeing 757s over there loaded with cash?
Dude, the Obama-Iranian nuclear deal was the one thing actually preventing the Iranians from creating a nuclear weapon, which, by the way, I'm about to say something a little bit controversial. They fucking should have made it. The Iranians should have made a nuclear weapon. They absolutely should have. What nations do we not fuck with? North Korea, China, Russia. Even though they're our #1 adversaries, why don't we fuck with them? They've got nukes. If you don't want Western imperialist dogmen to rape your nation, get a nuke. Doesn't even matter if you're a nation. You could be a fucking terrorist organization. You want negotiation power on the world stage? Get a fucking nuke. All right, we got more here for you. So this is on CNN here. This is Representative Pete Sessions talking about boots on the ground, but that exactly what I told you. He's saying that if we did boots on the ground amphibious assault of Karg Island, that wouldn't count as real boots on the ground. Go back to what I was telling you about Hawaii. This is like saying that if the Chinese invaded Hawaii, that's not actually invading the United States of America. And this is because, guys, this is CNN. It's very important that you understand. It doesn't matter if it's Fox News, CNN, MS Now. all mainstream media is vehemently in support of this war because they are all bought by the Zionist regime of Israel. Okay, the Zionists control both sides of the political aisle, bro. Like that's why John Fetterman is the way he is. And that's why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are they're ideological Zionists, bro. There is one, or actually two common through lines across the Republican and Democrat Party. One is the rally around the flag effect, that when we go to war, both sides support the war, okay? Sure, there's always a couple of dissidents, right? But then the other one is never-ending, undying, ironclad support for Israel. That has infected both sides because the different Israeli lobbies, whether it be AIPAC or fucking JPAC, right? They control the United States of America. And it's not like it's a one-way relationship where we just we hate the fact that they do it. No, we love it. We love it. The Zionist apartheid regime of Israel works hand in hand with the American State Department. Our interests are the same.
Iran. The president is moving about 2,500 Marines to the region. Are you okay with putting those two troops on the ground?
I actually spoke to some media last night, and I indicated that I believe that what these 2,500 Marines of the Marine Expeditionary Force would be to probably secure the island.
Valenti Video's Vindication Hour. Bro, how long have I been telling you that we're going to do a boots-on-the-ground amphibious assault of Karg Island? How fucking long have I been telling you? Chatter just said, wait, wasn't it 5,000? There were already 2,500 Marines. We sent an additional 2,500. So, of course, they're going to do everything they can to lower that number because they don't want to scare the American people. But they're saying the 2,500, that's an additional 2,500.
The island is not, in my opinion, boots on the ground in combat circumstances.
It is a territory. It is Iran.
Facility.
It is Iran.
Well, I'm not going to argue that point. As a matter of fact, you're right. But what I would say,
hey, 1 minus 1 equals 2. Well, actually, Senator, 1 minus 1 equals 0. I'm not going to argue with you there. You're right. But 1 minus 1 still equals 2. What?
Is the president has chosen not to obliterate the ability that to get oil, and I think he wants to go secure that to make sure the Iranians don't do themselves in. So I think it's probably wisdom. Is that boots on the ground? No, not like inside Iran where they're in the cities, to where we go through circumstances that we've had in the past.
Oh yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't count if we do boots on the ground on Karg Island, because I know that's technically Iranian territory, but it's also just a little island, you know? So if we did put boots on the ground on Karg Island, I don't think that you could really call that boots on the ground. What sort of fucking slave-minded bullshit is that? Yo, red hat wearing MAGA troglodytes. Explain that. Explain to me how boots on the ground isn't boots on the ground. Dude, you're all fucking inferior.
Of large areas of population, combatants against us, and it is a mess. I am against what I call the mess, moving people, Marines, snipers into population areas. But
so just so you know, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, okay? Come back here when I'm right. I always fucking am. We will do the amphibious assault on Karg Island. Our troops will meet no resistance when they hit the shore in terms of the IRGC. There won't be any ground troops with machine gun positions holding the beach like it's D-Day. Our Marines will successfully hit the beach and they will move further into the island. Once they're far enough in, the Iranians will either launch a cruise missile or a fuckload of Shahed drones at the warships that sent the amphibious assault group. That will either sink the American warship or cause it to retreat, thus abandoning those 5,000 Marines on Karg Island. They will be stranded. It will be like a hostage situation in a sense. Trump will then be backed into a corner where he has to choose. Do we go on a suicide mission to rescue those Marines? Do we bomb the fucking island and kill the Marines like the Israelis did on October 7th with the Hannibal Protocol, where they murdered their own people in mass to prevent them from being taken hostage? Or do we just leave them there forever? Those will be the options laid out by Donald Trump. I hope to God I'm wrong, but thus far, man, every prediction I've had has been correct. All right, let's see. Now we have some Fox News shit.
Look, China is a gigantic.
Oh, yeah, this is oh my God. Yeah, this is on Fox News of them begging China to help us open up the strait.
Look, China is a gigantic. I mean, I think they're the #1 consumer of Iranian oil.
They also do not need oil the way that we do. They are they are leading the world in renewable energy. They have entire fucking mountainsides with solar panels. They are farming in coal, and they're using solar, and they're using wind, and they're using hydro, and they're using nuclear. Like, they are leading the charge into this new world.
And so China has a huge stake, I would think, in the outcome of the Strait of Hormuz, okay? Maybe Kharg Island also, Jameson. Did anyone ever talk to them? Would they join the coalition to open the Strait of Hormuz that President Trump is trying to put together?
Would the Chinese fight alongside us, is what he's asking. Will the Chinese fight along? Would you welcome the Chinese military into the Strait of Hormuz to help control it? Yo, like, I know damn well there are, like, Republicans who are shitting their fucking pants over that. That is insane.
We haven't had any luck with NATO. That is most disappointing, and according to reports, the president...
Yes, they're Iran's ally, bro!
...rightly furious at NATO. But what about China? Might China join that coalition? They have a big stake in the outcome.
Well, I don't know if they'll join, but I agree with you. I think they they import 8 to 9% of their fossil fuels from the Gulf, and certainly from Iran.
8 to 9%. They don't give a fuck, dog. They don't give a fuck. This ain't their problem, bro. And you know, like, dude, I've said this a million times. You've seen this online. Step 1, beat China. Step 2, do nothing. Step 3, win. They don't have to do diddly fucking shit.
And they make up a large buyer of Iranian fuels. So you're right, they have a big stake in this. You know, they have a strong interest in the war coming to a close quickly and in those straits being open. So, you know, our hope is that they'll be cooperative. You know, whether that means they're part of an operation or escorts in the straits, I can't tell you, but certainly it's important to them. And it's been interesting how cautious they've been on Iran.
I know they haven't said much. I've noted this before.
Look at that fucking nussy. Look at that fucking nussy, dude. I want to yank that shit down and wear it like a fucking beanie.
A peep from the Chinese during this whole war period, which has gone so well for the U.S. and Israel.
Dude, this is state-controlled media, bro. We're literally actively losing. All right. We got more here. This is hilarious. We've reached the point now where Republicans are comparing this war to World War II.
It's been an extraordinarily successful campaign over the last couple of weeks. Our military objectives are being accomplished day after day.
Name the objectives.
It's a methodical and deliberate effort because it's a very big country with a lot of weapons. But anyone who says that we're already losing or we're in a quagmire or the president can't succeed because of the threat that Iran poses to the Hormuz right now is akin to saying Eisenhower is losing because he hadn't made it to Berlin within 2 weeks of D-Day. It's going to take some time to achieve those military objectives. But
that's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard.
In the end, we will have defanged the Iranian regime.
Bro, that is the stupidest shit I have ever fucking heard. Tom Cotton, you are a fucking dipshit. All right, more.
There are a number of military analysts have suggested that the only way to open up the Strait of Hormuz would be for American ground troops to get involved in the fight in Iran. If it requires that step, should the president come to Congress for authority first? And what is your personal opinion of ground troops being involved in this conflict?
So the question is pretty simple. The only way to open up the Strait of Hormuz is boots on the ground. The president needs congressional approval to put boots on the ground. Will he seek congressional approval, or is he a dictator? That is the question.
I think right now the president is well within his authority. Even if you accept war as powers as being constitutional, he has 60 days to, and I think they've had a lot of success in achieving their objectives. And I think that you will continue to see those objectives achieved. If you talk to our military leadership, our war planners, I think they're doing a masterful job of taking out most of the Iranian military capabilities, whether nuclear or conventional. The Strait of Hormuz, obviously, is an issue that we're all paying a lot of attention to. But I feel confident that the administration and those who are leading our military efforts there ultimately will be successful in getting things opened up there.
Do you think ground troops are necessary? Would you support ground troops?
I'm not ruling anything in or out. I think that's obviously a decision that ultimately...
This is so bad, bro. The fact that they're saying they can't rule it in or out is practically a guarantee. Well, just so you understand, guys, we already have boots on the ground. We already do. We have, like, fucking military advisors and CIA agents working alongside the Kurdish forces. Like, we already have boots on the ground, and they've already died. We're talking about, like, I guess what they would consider to be a full-fledged assault, a full-fledged invasion.
Our war planners have to make, but I don't believe, at least from everything I've been told, that that's something that is being contemplated. But
well, if you want to open up the Strait of Hormuz, yeah. If you want the Strait of Hormuz to always be closed, then yeah, no, don't put boots on the ground. But that would actually cripple the U.S. economy. See, this is the thing. There's no winning this. Either we put boots on the ground and Trump starts another forever war, or we don't put boots on the ground and the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. You fucked up so fucking bad. This is shit that even, like, John Bolton wouldn't have done. And he said that. John Bolton is like, he's never met a war he didn't fucking like. He literally gets fully erect at the idea of murdering civilians, right? And John Bolton was like, yeah, and I don't think that the Trump regime has, thought this through fully. This doesn't seem to work. There's a reason why no other president has gone to war with Iran. It's because we knew that they would close the Strait of Hormuz and it would fuck with the oil market. All right. Now, here's Trump saying the quiet part out loud. Listen, every accusation is actually a confession. But here is Trump admitting that they are fighting us to a standstill, to a draw, to what's the word? I forgot the word for attrition. You know, it's attrition.
And it was so inaccurate. Their reporting of the war was unbelievable. We have decimated
stalemate.
that country. And if you watch BBC, it's almost like they're fighting us to a draw. They're not fighting us to a draw. It was very inaccurate news. It was fake news. So I'm very proud of the term fake news because it was my term. I came up with it, but it's no longer accurate. It really is. It's corrupt, fraudulent news. It really is. It's fraudulent. It's not just fake. It's beyond fake. It's really criminal what they do.
Just so you understand, the CIA is going to charge Tucker Carlson with treason, and the FCC is threatening to revoke the licenses of any news broadcasts who do not paint the war in Iran as a resounding success. Okay, this is because, like, we are North Korea. We are everything that we accuse authoritarian dictatorships of being. We do not have freedom of speech. We do not have freedom of the press. If you do not glaze Donald Trump like a fucking donut, he's going to charge you with fucking treason. All right, more here. Oh, this one's important. Listen to this.
Their potential nuclear weapon that they would have had in less than 1 month. They think 2 weeks, but in less than 1 month. And it would have been, I believe it would have been a much different world than it is right now.
So Trump says that the Iranians would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks. Meanwhile, remember this? This was right after our first bombing of Iran back in last June, when the White House literally fucking published an article saying Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated, and suggesting otherwise are fake news. Does the word obliterated mean different things to people? Because to me, the word obliterated means the word obliterated. It's ash, it's dust, it's cooked, it's barbecue fucking chicken, as Kyle Kalinske would say. It's gone. And now you're claiming they would have had a nuke within 2 weeks? You've been saying that the Iranians would have had a nuke within 2 weeks since 1979, bro. How many more generations have to go die in the Middle East, bro? Because you had the generation before me, you had my generation, you have the generation below me. How many generations, or does it ever fucking end? Or are we just going to keep on sending American boys and girls to the Middle East just so they can come home in fucking caskets while the Israelis dance as our buildings go down? Is that what we're going to do? Is that what we're going to fucking do? Oh, we already watched this. This is Trump talking shit about the Iran nuclear deal.
Potential.
Oh, here's him talking shit on NATO.
I call it the nuclear dust. I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake. And I've long said that, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us.
We are the only nation in NATO to ever invoke Article 5 right after 9/11, which brought many of our allies to war with us in Iraq and Afghanistan. Many Brits died there. Many Canadians died there. I'm pretty sure some Germans fucking died there. Even some Koreans fucking died there, bro. We are the only nation to ever beg for help from NATO. And they showed up. What the fuck are you talking about?
So this was a great test, because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, okay. So this is some DOD shit where they're
Section.
Who are they talking to? Some dumb bitch, but they're talking about putting military personnel at polling places in November. Okay, get a look at this. I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. Oh, and this is because, as I've told you before, we made videos about this, they are going to steal the midterm elections. This is not a joke. The midterm elections will be stolen. The Democrats are not doing anything to combat this, so I have genuinely abandoned hope. I do not think that we're going to win the midterm elections, even though we have the votes. Well, they're going to disenfranchise literally tens of millions of voters. I don't know if you know this, guys. If the SAVE Act passes, this is real, you can look this up. If the SAVE Act passes, and you are a married woman who took your husband's last name, you cannot vote. Look it up. Prove me wrong. If you are a married woman who took your husband's last name, you need a signed affidavit from a judge in order to vote. Okay? And also, we already have states like Kansas where trans people just cannot vote. Chatter just said the SAVE Act will not go through. Do you want to bet? What do you have faith in Democrats? Are you an idiot? Are you out of your fucking mind? The SAVE Act is going to pass. And also, even if it didn't pass, they'll still enforce it because you're up against fascists who don't believe the rule of law applies to them.
I want to remind everybody who's listening to this that U.S. Section 592 and 593 criminalize both having troops at the polls and military interference with voting, conducting elections, or election officers. And so I'd like to ask the question that he didn't get an answer to, which is the midterms are in November. Will you collectively, representing the people who help decide where our troops are from North and South America, will you commit on the record before this committee that the Department of Defense will not deploy military personnel within sight of any polling places in November of 2026? Mr. Humeyer.
I'm not aware of any such direction that's coming, and I reserve this decision based on the president.
But sir, if the president told you to send troops to the polling places, would you do that unlawful act?
It would go through the same review process that we get from every request that comes from the White House. We have legal compliance, we have lawyers, we have.
But there is a law already established and court history that says that it is not legal to do this. So you're not willing to say.
And I can't speculate on what.
In general, I keep hearing your name pronounced differently. Geo, I think. Would you commit that you will not send military troops to polling places in November?
Congresswoman, I'm aware that doing so is against the law, and I will not follow an unlawful order.
Thank you.
Thank God somebody's got a pair of balls. Just so you know, this guy's gonna get fired now.
I appreciate your honesty.
Guaranteed, by the way. Guaranteed. This guy's gonna, General Gillet, whatever, he's gonna get fucking fired.
And your lawfulness. General Donovan.
I commit to the same, Congresswoman.
Thank you. I very much appreciate those straightforward and forthwith answers, and I hope, Mr. Humeyer, that you take a look at the law and follow it. A lawful order.
See, this is why I always say the one little piece of hope that you can keep alive is a military coup d'etat, because these generals are far more loyal to the Constitution than they are to the pedophile in chief. All right. Last thing I want to show you guys. This is very short, but it is important. Cuba's electrical grid is completely gone. It's a complete and total collapse. All the millions of people living in Cuba are going through a blackout. They are starving to death. They are dying of thirst. They are dying of malnutrition. And this is because the United States put a blockade around the island. We won't let anything in. We are actually, I'm not joking, we are committing a genocide in Cuba right now. Okay? Got to look at this coverage from CNN.
And breaking news into CNN, Cuba's electrical grid has suffered a complete and total collapse. This is according to the country's power operator. It's the first nationwide blackout since the U.S. effectively shut off the flow of oil to Cuba.
Disgusting, bro. Your tax dollars are not only waging a war in Iran, it is also committing a genocide in Cuba. It is also waging war in Ecuador. It is also waging war all throughout the global south to counter narco-terrorism operations. It's just so fucking disgusting. It's so fucking disgusting. All right, listen, sorry to tell you, but the President of the United States is not only a pedophile, but he's also starting World War III and threatening to remove the United States from NATO. There is no good news. Sorry. If you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. That was an hour and 2-minute long video. It was a good one, though. An hour and 2 minutes long. Holy shit. Let's get this fucker uploaded, huh? There's a banger. Absolute banger, if I do say so myself. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. All right, what do I want here? I want Trump wants to leave NATO. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. This is episode 408. Bye-bye, NATO. Me think me gon' take me own life. Wagwan. Trump threatens to leave NATO while he begs China to take over the Strait of Hormuz. We are leaving NATO. Trump threatens to leave NATO and to nuke Iran. So not only is Trump losing the war in Iran, but he is also threatening to leave NATO and begging China to take over this strait. You cannot make this up. Got to wait for the title to kick in. There we go. You're going to have to tweak off the original or the little millennial pause. Video can't be trimmed because the claims are being processed. Okay, while that does that, we have to make our advertisement for that YouTube video. Okay? Okay. So our pedophile president is threatening to leave NATO, and he's also on his hands and knees begging the Chinese to take over the Strait of Hormuz. That's not a joke. I want you to listen to what I just said. The president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, the pedophile, is begging Xi Jinping and the Chinese military to move into the region and take over the Strait of Hormuz. I think this motherfucker might genuinely be a Manchurian candidate. And even if he isn't a Manchurian candidate, he's fucking operating like one. He's either so fucking stupid that he is enriching our adversaries, or he literally fucking works for them. I'm gonna go with the first one, to be honest. I don't think he's smart enough to even be a Manchurian candidate. I just think that he's a brain-dead fucking troglodyte, pedophile, fat-bodied, fascist piece of shit. I also think the same thing about all of his 77 million red hat-wearing inferior rat people. Fuck all of you. Other than that, we have multiple Republican senators saying that if we did a boots-on-the-ground invasion of Karg Island, which is Iranian territory, that technically wouldn't be boots on the ground because it's just a little island. Oh, okay, so if the Chinese did a boots-on-the-ground invasion of Hawaii, that wouldn't be an invasion of the United States of America? Really? You stupid fucks, you warmongering neoconservative fucking pieces of shit, you absolute cave-dwelling fucking aphids. This is why I say, like, you don't hate Republicans enough. You need to vehemently fucking despise them because they will literally bring about the end of the fucking world because they think that they could profit off the ashes. Disgusting. Also, we are losing so fucking badly. We are losing so badly that Trump is both begging NATO for help and threatening to leave NATO because they won't help us. We're so fucked, by the way. Like, we're not making it out of this. This is a lose-lose situation. Either Trump puts boots on the ground to open up the Strait of Hormuz, which will literally lead to another forever war, or Trump withdraws from the entirety of the Levant, every single American base being drained of its troops, and we no longer have a presence in the Middle East, and the strait remains closed. Because the Iranians need to make sure that us, the average American people, actually suffer. We need to feel the pain in order for this to never happen again, which is why I firmly believe gas is going to reach $10 a gallon. It's already like $5.50 in places like California and Miami, right? It's already going up. It is skyrocketing. It's not just gas, by the way. When the price of oil goes up, the first thing it hits is gasoline. You know what's going to hit next? The price of food. Everything needs oil, bro. I'm not saying there's oil in your fucking banana. I am saying that that banana goes on a fucking truck, and that truck is powered by gasoline, and that gasoline needs fucking oil in order to be created. The price of everything will go up. New YouTube video about all of this. New YouTube video. Go check it out. New YouTube video. Hell yeah. I was almost 1 second too late. 2 minutes and 59 seconds. You go over 3 minutes, you can't post it on Instagram. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's get that uploaded. Oh, wait, we could do the trim and cut now. Let's do the trim and cut first. Fuck. Right there. Thank you for the $5. Valentinator. First time in a long time been able to catch a live. Keep being my megaphone king. Appreciate you, Jason. Thank you for the $5. Bro is popping off in Vermont versus ICE, but it's being suppressed. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, I know about that. Shit is crazy over there. Everybody is so focused on the war in Iran that people aren't focusing on ICE or the Epstein files anymore. It's a sad, sad, sad reality. I think this is my first video over an hour ever. Donald Trump is threatening to pull the United States of America out. I think it might be. It's a long motherfucking video. All right, let's get this uploaded. So our pedophile president is threatening to leave NATO, and he's also on his... You've had 1 hour videos before? Well, maybe it's the first one in a very long time. Are we leaving NATO or no? Depends. It all depends on what the Fuhrer says, because we no longer have Congress and the Senate or the House. We just have the Fuhrer, so it's really up to what Donald wants. Favorite historic person? That just means favorite person, bro. The love of my life, whose name will remain a secret because I know some of you are fucking psychopaths. Gym today? Of course. Caption your short. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Related video, that one, upload. Did you see Hassan saying the BB video isn't AI? I disagree. Again, guys, you do not need to agree with everything your favorite content creators say. If you do, you are mentally fucking ill and you are in a cult. New episode of the Valenti VOD on YouTube. Trump threatens to leave NATO. All right. Excuse me. Thank you for the $3, Jenna. Love you. Run for state rep. I'm a firm believer in that latter shit is bullshit. That you become I don't know, like a fucking city comptroller and then a state rep and then a congressperson and then you run for president. Donald Trump proved that entire thing doesn't fucking exist. So I'm just going to wait till I'm 35 and then run for president, rule from the top. From Valenti Simp, what do we got here? This is a random Israeli classroom. Show me one video of any class. Oh, I've seen this video before. It's disgusting. What days are you not streaming? I try not to stream on weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. If I am streaming on a Saturday or a Sunday, it means things went terribly fucking wrong.
מה יש שם עכשיו על בית המקדש? אז מה יקרה במסגד? יישבר? אם יקרה פגש בשנה האחרונה ילד ערבי. איפה פגשת ילד ערבי? ליד הכותל. דיברת איתו? לא, הוא דחף אותי. ומה קורה כשאתם רואים ילד ערבי? מה אתם מרגישים? זעם. זעם? מה קורה כשאתם פוגשים ילד חילוני? למה אתם מוכרים עליו שלא הולך חרדי? מה הוא מפסיד? הוא לא הולך חרדי. כשאתם חושבים על ירושלים בעוד 10 שנים, כולם חרדים? לא כולם חרדים, ערבים חלק... כולם יהודים, יש גם ערבים שעובדים. תהיה משיח, הבנתי, כן, מה אתה אומר?
Literally, these kids are brainwashed cattle, man. And it makes me, it makes me sad and angry because, listen, man, I hate Israelis, but these are fucking children, man. These are fucking children. This is proof that everything is a result of nurture, not nature. Nobody is born with this innate hatred of other fucking people. You need to be taught that shit. And these fucking children are gonna grow up to become genocidal maniacs in the IDF, doing shit like we read, where they just snap in the arms of 4-year-old boys and stomping on their stomachs. It's fucking disgusting. And of course, I'm a human being. I feel bad for these fucking kids. But at the same time, it's One day you're going to grow up and you're going to be the goddamn monster. First, I need you to create a workout routine series where you yell at us and motivate us and talk about rising up. I can do that, but I'm telling you right now, ain't none of you going to be able to follow my fucking routine, bro. I eat 1,500 calories a day and I burn 1,200. That doesn't include my resting metabolic rate. I'm in like a fucking net negative 800 caloric deficit. You're going to need to you're going to need to fucking hate yourself. You need to fucking hate yourself, dog. Disgusting people. Disgusting people, bro. And a wildly inbred nation, bro. You'd be surprised by how much inbreeding goes on in Israel. It's fucking disgusting. You're looking good, Valent. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate that. I tried doing 800 and I lost my period. Oh, yeah. Jesus fuck, dude. That ain't good. What's inbreeding? It's fucking your family members. It's making children out of your family members. Incest. It's incest. Hi, Luigi. $1,500. I need like 3,000 just to maintain my weight. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to maintain weight. I'm trying to shred at least a pound a day. At least a pound a day. Hi, Mama. You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi to everybody? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, little mama. Hi, little mama. Oh, you're giving away free kisses? Thank you. I'd be charging for those if I were you. I would be charging for those. Big yawn. Big sleepy yawn. Thank you. Big sleepy yawn. Thank you for the $10. Can you predict the next 5 years of our political system and where we will stand? No. I don't think this nation will exist in 5 years. I'm not even fucking kidding. I think we'll split into 2 or 3 different nations. You hear Florida failed to pass a bill banning first cousin marriage? Yeah, sounds Floridian to me. Little mama, look at the camera. Look at the camera, little mama. Everybody saying hi, Weenge. Everybody loves you, Mrs. Weenge. Everybody loves Miss Weege. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Say goodbye, little girl. I'm gonna put you down. Bye, everybody. Bye. Sweet baby. What a unit of a dachshund. I know. She's a fucking unit. Russia has an internet blackout right now. Get fucked. Get fucked. Yeah, real quick, send me all your money. Yo, real quick, gang, send me all your money. Would that be cool? There's a typo on the video, Chris. Where? What's the typo? Where? Trump threatens to leave NATO while he begs China to take over the Strait of Hormuz. We are leaving NATO. Trump threatens to leave. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for becoming a loyalist. Thank you for the $1 donation. I really appreciate that. Now we want to go to clips, create video clip, and then we need this to transcribe, and then I can make a nice little clip out of that. Can anyone in an iPad send memberships? It doesn't show it for me. I have no idea, fam. I got no idea. Sorry. No fucking clue, fam. Famiglia. I had no fucking clue, Famiglia. Famiglia. What computer setup do you have? It's an Omen. I don't know the name of it, but it's a real nice gaming PC. Real nice gaming PC.
The record should show, and I think will show, a lack of contrition.
So if you don't know, this is Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. I believe he was an Indiana senator, former senator, sorry. And he has replaced Kristi Noem as the head of the Department of Homeland Security. This is one of the most racist and like anti-American motherfuckers out there. What's your take on Ho Chi Minh? As a Vietnamese American asking, Ho Chi Minh is one of the bravest people to have ever lived. Ho Chi Minh did so much for the liberation of the Vietnamese people. People often forget that Ho Chi Minh was at the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. I think he was like 18 years old, bro. He was advocating, because at the end of World War I, that was the end of the old world. That was the beginning of the collapse of like colonialism. Granted, we still have that, but not like hyper-colonialism, like when the fucking Brits owned the entirety of India. Ho Chi Minh was at the signing of the Treaty of Versailles advocating for the liberation of the Vietnamese people from French occupation. That motherfucker, not only did he resist the French, but he also resisted the Americans once the French tapped out and tapped in the Americans. Ho Chi Minh is one of the goats, bro. He is unironically one of the fucking goats. We love Ho Chi Minh. And this is coming from somebody whose father fucking fought against the Viet Cong, bro. My dad used to tell me that shit. He was like, yeah, no, Ho Chi Minh was kind of the goat, bro. Ho Chi Minh was pretty base. The Viet Cong were the good guys. He used to tell me as a kid, I was very little, and he would make it abundantly clear. He'd go, Chris, we'd be watching Saving Private Ryan. He'd go, Chris, notice how in this war, the Americans are the good guys. And I'd be like, yeah? And he'd go, when I went to war, I was the bad guys. We were the Germans. We were the Nazis. And I was like, what do you mean? But we're America. And he was like, we were invading a foreign nation and killing their people, primarily civilians, and we were doing it in the name of imperialism and quote unquote stopping the spread of communism. You know, like even my dad who fought Ho Chi Minh and my dad who fucking gunned down a whole bunch of the Viet Cong, even he understood he was on the wrong side of history, you know, and then he spent the rest of his life trying to understand why he was sent to Vietnam. What was the Vietnam War? What is a proxy war? What was the problem with the Soviet Union? What is communism? He spent his entire life trying to figure out this shit, especially because he volunteered for the Vietnam War, you know, and a lot of people were convinced that the Gulf of Tonkin massacre actually happened, which is complete bullshit made up by the U.S. government, that like the Vietnamese had opened fire on a couple of American boats and killed a bunch of people. Never fucking happened, you know? But yeah. Yeah. Did Chris's dad die? Yeah, he's been dead for like 8 fucking years. I can't fucking believe it's been 8 years. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Did today's video just get taken down? No, it's probably going through the clip. Yeah, it's going through clipping. It gets like pulled down and then immediately put back up within like 1 second because it's editing. It's editing. It's just what happens. Video clip. Transcribing. Hell yeah. All right, let's finish this.
No apology and no regrets for your support. You completely understand the violence that was perpetrated.
Somebody just said, should China be considered an evil nation because they're communist? Well, first of all, China is not a communist nation. They practice capitalism. You can cope, mold, and seethe all you fucking want, but I don't see a stateless, classless, and moneyless society in China. Don't see it. I do see them as like one of the biggest exporters in the world and participating in capitalism. But according to the U.S. government, yes, China is evil because they're communist. According to the U.S. government, absolutely.
You're unrepentant. The only thing you quibble about is whether I met you somehow when you were in the House. I don't think we ever met when you were in the House. And this idea that the only thing you're upset about is not that you were...
According to you? No, I think China's a great nation. I think that they have far surpassed the United States of America in every single sector. I will say that there's some great critique that you can give the Chinese people. I mean, China has treated their Muslim population of the Uyghurs like literal fucking dogs. But I mean, China, listen, they got a better quality of life. They've got better high-speed transit. They've got, it's just, listen, overall, I think China is America, but better.
For violence, what you're upset about is that I called you a liar because you said it to my face. It's really more about this machismo that you have. When in Oklahoma, the media asked you about the refugee welfare programs, the programs you voted to continue funding, it was this whole idea that you were going to transfer it because you were uncomfortable, your anger, low impulse control, causes you to then
They still bad at human rights, though. If you can name me one nation that's good at human rights, I'll be very impressed.
After and decide that you're going to go after me as well. And so you say you completely understood that I was assaulted from behind, had 6 ribs broken and part of my lung removed, and that was just fine. That's something that you, I guess, approve of as far as resolution of political problems. When I talked to you privately on the phone, there was no apology. You just said, well, we can let our political difference, go by. And you said a few minutes ago, we can just set it aside.
We're good at human rights. Yeah, we're good at violating them. I seen that, Ava.
Well, political differences,
I don't give a fuck about one of his flubs.
But when you say that you agree...
Trump flubs fucking daily, bro.
...with a felon, a Trump-hating felon who attacked me, somehow you think I'm just going to set that aside? Oh, it's no big deal. I lay in pain for 2 months, had 6 ribs broken, 3 of them separated, grinding upon bone for months, had part of my lung removed, and you think that's great and to be extolled. I mean, the sheer lack of any kind of self-awareness that you're going to be leading thousands of men and women who will have the use of force, and there's been great questions in our country about how that will be used, and you think a violent attack is just fine. So I guess my first question is, do you think that justifying that kind of violence sets a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
Mr. Chairman, first of all,
I literally don't have that power. I know it sounds crazy, but I cannot gift people a membership simply because I run this channel. There's not even like a way for me to do that.
Your damage?
I couldn't even gift like my moderators a membership if I wanted. There's no mechanism to do that.
When the phone call was made, I made it to you and I tried to talk to you. You didn't engage at all. In fact, you said, get your paperwork in. It's got to be 3 days in between.
You offered no apology.
Sir?
And you offer no apology today and no regrets.
I'm not going to lie. I don't give a fuck about this. Like, I know that like a lot of libs are going to be focused on like, oh, Rand Paul was pinning Markwayne Mullin in the corner because Markwayne Mullin wouldn't apologize for making fun of him for getting like assaulted. But like, how about we fucking talk about the fact that this guy's about to be the head of DHS and he's one of the most racist motherfuckers in the regime.
Haven't heard the word apologize.
Like, I don't know. For me personally, it feels like he's like, how can I make this about me? I think this is so fucking stupid.
Heard the word regret. Haven't heard I misspoke and it was heated and I made a mistake. Haven't heard any of those words.
Sir, actually, it wasn't heated, and I'm not apologizing for pointing out your character.
Good. So you're jolly well fine, and you want the American public and the people up here to vote that may or may not vote for you to know that you supported the felonious, violent attack on me from behind.
Been a member for 2 months. Thank you, Shannon. Love your collabs with Triv and Endemic. I love those two.
I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it. There's a difference.
So that means you really didn't approve of it, just completely understand it. What do you think most people would interpret completely understand to be? Support for or a condemnation of the violence?
Sir, as I said, we can have our differences. It's not going to keep me from doing my job as Secretary of Homeland Security. I'm going to secure Kentucky and take care of Kentucky as much as I am Oklahoma.
If this were a one-off, it would be one thing. If you just disliked me so much that you approved of violence against me, people could just write it off. Well, maybe they hate each other. But really, there's a pattern of this. Let's go ahead and roll the tape.
Why can't we see the tape?
We can be good as adults. We can finish it here.
They're playing the clip of when Mark Wayne Mullen was like, hey, why don't we just go outside and fight right now? But it was like between two members of the House, I believe, or two senators, like an actual fucking child.
That's fine. Perfect. You want to do it now? I'd love to do it right now. Well, stand your butt up then. You stand your butt up.
Stop it. Revolutionary call. No, sit down.
He's proud of this. He's proud of this. And by the way, you are going to unironically create the inverse reaction, because to like MAGA chuds, bro, resorting to violence immediately is normal to them. We're talking about like brain dead troglodytes, bro. They immediately resort to violence. That's why you see videos of like MAGA adults beating up children at like anti-ICE protests, and I can show you multiple of these videos. This is only going to solidify his base into supporting him even more. They love a guy who's like, oh, you disagree with me? Put your fucking dukes up, bro. It's like all of those, like, dude, I'm a content creator. Every other content creator, I guarantee you can attest to this. Every single day, I have these toothless hicks being like, you think you're so tough? You think you're so smart? Why don't you meet me for a boxing match? I challenge you to a boxing match. Because that's the furthest that their little peon fucking brains can go. They think that like, okay, if we disagree, I have to beat you up. It's the furthest that they can think. Thank you for becoming a member for 6 months. Thank you for waltzing through the flames with us, Chris. You keep me sane. You guys keep me alive. So, you know, it goes both ways.
United States Senator. Sit down. Okay, sit down, please. All right. Can I respond? Hold it.
If he got up too, would you have gone at it right there in the area?
I would have probably jumped over the dais at that point. You have to be called out on it. If not, this guy continues to get away with this stuff, and it's just.
Bro, he's reminiscing.
You know, it's silly. It's stupid.
Look at him. He's reminiscing.
Every now and then you get punched in the face. Well, go back to the 1800s and 1700s. They used to have canes.
And duels. They used to have duels.
Yeah. Right. And there's a way that men used to settle their differences. I ignored him.
Dude, they're talking about the caning of Charles Sumner. I forgot the name of the guy who did it, but there were like 2 U.S. senators who got into a little bit of a disagreement in the House, and one of them beat the other one to death with his cane. Right? Did he beat him to death? Let me look this up. The caning of Charles Sumner, or the Brooks-Sumner affair, occurred on May 22nd, 1856 in the United States Senate chamber when Representative Preston Brooks, a pro-slavery Democrat from South Carolina, used a walking cane to beat Senator Charles Sumner, an abolitionist Republican from Massachusetts, nearly to death. Okay, so he didn't actually beat him to death. He almost beat him to death. But yeah, like, Brooks's violence was in retaliation for an invective-laden speech given by Sumner 2 days earlier in which he fiercely criticized slaveholders, including pro-slavery South Carolina Senator Andrew Butler, a relative of Brooks. So, like, dude, they're reminiscing about the time period where you could just beat the fuck out of each other instead of debating.
I'm part of that. And people say, yes, you're supposed to ignore it. Well, you know, I'm not a very good Christian. I try to be a good Christian, and I know people say you're supposed to turn the other cheek. I prefer the David method.
But we need to move from an almost.
I prefer the David method. Talking about David and Goliath, bro. What a dude! I fucking hate Christians.
Fighting?
Oh, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight. I'll do anything.
Dude, look at him. He's smiling. I'm telling you, this is going to have, like, you fucked up. Rand Paul fucked up here. This is going to have the inverse effect. This is going to make him incredibly popular. Bro, you're going to see memes and edits from the right wing of him being like a big macho guy willing to fight whenever. Like, this is going to do the exact opposite fucking reaction.
In hindsight, any regrets?
No, I really don't.
Chris, do you think Trump will be an example of a bad dictator instead of Mustache Man in a couple of years? No, he's not going to replace Mustache Man, and you could say Adolf Hitler here. You're allowed to type that in. What I do think will happen is, like, I think Trump cares about being remembered. He cares about having a legacy. He doesn't care what that legacy is. He just wants to go down as an influential person like Genghis Khan, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Notice how I chose good people and bad people, right? He doesn't give a fuck, but I do think he will go down in the same category as Stalin, Hitler, Mao, Netanyahu, Trump, right? Like, he's going to go down as an authoritarian dictator. That's who he's going to go down as.
So no regrets. In fact, even after your anger had cooled, you were still bragging that if he'd only been brave enough to stand up, you'd have jumped over the dais and taught him a lesson.
Pol
'Cause that's how
Pot,
men
Mussolini,
should settle
yeah.
their differences. Do you think fighting as a resolution for political differences is a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
I was going to say yes.
As you can notice over my shoulder here is my good friend Sean O'Brien. Both of us have had conversations. Both of us have shaken hands. And both of us agreed we could have done things different. Sean is someone that has become a close friend. We talk all the time. I've been on his podcast. We've talked through this. That's how you handle your differences. Not like this, Chairman.
But bro, you weren't trying to handle your differences through talking. You were trying to fist fight the motherfucker.
I'm glad you guys are friends now and that you've reconciled. But really, it doesn't get to the real point, whether or not you think violence is the way we settle things. In the days after the fight, you said, and I quote, sometimes people just need to be punched in the face. Is that still your opinion, that political disputes can sometimes and often only be resolved by violence?
I'm not going to lie. I actually agree with that. There are some political disputes that can only be solved with violence. I genuinely do believe that. And my example of it would be if somebody's political stance is, we need to kill all minorities, right? That would be a Nazi. I firmly believe that you cannot find common ground. You cannot compromise. You cannot debate with somebody like that. If somebody's genuine political belief is, we need to kill all minorities, the only way to solve that is through violence. You need to be willing to participate in violence because their entire political ideology is violent. The entire thing is like, when it comes to somebody who's like a fascist, right? Like a genuine fascist, you need to be willing to participate in violence. Otherwise, they'll win. This is like, and I've said this before, this is like if you were playing chess, right? And somebody took their pawn and moved it like a rook, right? And you go, what the fuck? That's against the rules. And they go, And then you keep on playing by the rules. You move your pawn normally, right? You've already lost the game now. It's a different game than what you thought you were playing, but if they're willing to break the rules and you're not, you can't win. You can't win. It's that's what this is. Let's see what his response is going to be. I'm curious to see what it's going to be.
No, I don't always agree with that. I don't believe in political violence. I've made that very clear. But sometimes people do need, theoretically speak.
Okay, yeah, no, this guy's a beta cuck, if I'm being for real. Unless it's perpetrated on me. I don't give a fuck about you. Sorry, I give a fuck about the American people. I give a fuck about the working class. I don't give a fuck about you, Rand Paul. Like, why are you making this entire fucking thing about you? This is so fucking strange.
Sir, I get it. It's about character assassination for you. That's the way this game is played. I understand it. And you are making this about you, which is fine, but that doesn't keep me as Secretary of Homeland Security.
Character assassination when you were the one lauding the assault. Who do you think started that character assassination? I'm just repeating what you have done in character assassination. I'm repeating your support for the assault. So that's somehow something I started?
No, sir. What I'm saying is you're adding a lot to it.
In the days after the fight, you did many interviews in which you justified the violence as historically justified by precedents, such as caning and dueling. Is it today your opinion that the caning of Charles Sumner was not only justified, but argues still for resolving our political differences with violence?
What I was simply pointing out is some of the rules that still apply to this body. For instance,
one of your videos is a YouTube feature? Fuck off. Which one? How do you find YouTube featured? How do you find YouTube featured videos? Does it say it somewhere? Anybody know where? How do you find them? Anybody know how? Is that a thing? Oh, Valent Uvi episode 3 is what's on featured? That's fucking crazy. I never thought a single fucking Valentini show would end up on YouTube featured.
Dueling with 2 consenting adults is still there.
That's not true.
I was pointing.
That's not true. I mean, I think mutual combat is legal, but dueling between 2 consenting adults, that hasn't been legal for like 200 fucking years, because dueling is to the death. A duel is to the death. In some states, I think like in Florida, mutual combat is allowed, but dueling is not. You fucking idiot.
Now, what is
been
still
illegal for
acceptable?
170 years.
Thank God.
There's no precedent for legal dueling. Even then, they fled the country. Do you realize that the man that beat Charles Sumner with a cane, he beat him till he was unconscious? You know why no senators intervened? Because his friend held a gun on the other senators, and he kept beating him until he crushed his skull.
I didn't know that.
That's what you're insinuating is the precedent of the Senate, and that's what you live by. That is a very, very dangerous sentiment. After a half a dozen victory lap interviews where you pointed out that the union guy was just lucky that fear kept him from standing up, Dana Bash asked you if you have any regrets about bringing violence to a Senate committee.
Oh, dude, Dana Bash was sitting next to me at Dog Day Afternoon, the Broadway play. I kept looking at her. I was like, who the fuck? Why the fuck do I know that? And then I was like, is that a CNN host? Then I looked up female CNN hosts. She was the first one. And I'm like, yep, that's Dana fucking Bash.
And you replied that you have no regrets. Today you said you have no regrets about being happy, being completely understanding why I was attacked from behind. You had no regrets about, instigating a brawl in a Senate committee hearing. Are those still your opinions?
Mr. Chairman, you're going to have your opinion. I'm going to have mine. As Secretary of Homeland Security, I'm going to bring peace of mind and security to this country, and I'm going to stay laser focused on that.
This guy is going to be so much more dangerous than Kristi Noem, bro. Kristi Noem was at least a bumbling fucking dipshit, horse-mouthed cunt, right? This guy knows how to operate in silence. He's like, see, there's a difference between somebody being evil and stupid and somebody being evil and smart. This guy's evil and smart. He's going to be able to do a lot of fucking damage as the head of DHS, and he's going to do it under the rug, under the rug shit. Remember, Kristi Noem spent like, what, $300 million making like an advertisement? Like, she was so fucking brazen and stupid. Like, by the way, just so you know, Kristi Noem has been blacklisted from the White House. Like, blacklisted. They don't want her anywhere fucking near anybody in the Trump regime because of how insane and controversial she is. Not smart, sneaky. Now, guys, you need to be able to recognize, like, somebody being smart. He's not smart. No, he is. He is. He may not be well educated, but he's smart and he knows how to operate in silence. The answers to these questions are way better than what Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, fucking Pam Bondi do. You guys, please understand that you can recognize your enemy's intelligence. It does not make them better, Like I've said this before, we should be grateful that Hitler was so stupid. You know what I mean? Hitler was evil and dumb. If Hitler was evil and smart, they could have fucking won, dude. They could have fucking won. It's the same thing with Trump. You should be grateful that Trump is evil and stupid, compared to somebody like if Tucker Carlson was the president. Oh my God. If Tucker Carlson was the president, we would have already deported like 30 million people. All right. I think that is it. Okay. It's a 2.5 hour long stream. I think I can call it there if I do say so myself. Is Tucker smart? Smarter than Trump. Smarter than Trump. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti Videos broadcast. You guys are all incredible. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to have some food. I'm going to get some pussy. I'm going to get a little bit of pussy. Yeah. But yeah, no, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Costs you nothing, helps me immensely. Go outside, put your little toesy posies in the grass. Go eat some muff. You know how it is. Go eat some pussy. You know how it is. Or if you like dick, go get some dick. You know? You know? All right, guys. Thanks very much. Have a good one. Later. Later.